Right you are, Chris, and thank you very much. We are at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, where a crowd of over 40,000 will see the Bruins of UCLA against San Diego State and the Aztecs All-American running back Marshall Faulk.
My name is Marshall Faulk. I was born to run the football.
He kicks it into gear. Goodbye, Marshall Faulk.
When I know I'm going to get the ball, I feel like I'm going to score a touchdown every time I get it.
20-10 single touchdown.
The play has the point of attack, but I can change it at any time.
Cuts it outside. Slips a tackle. Goodbye.
My name is Marshall Faulk. I was born to run the football.
Here come the Aztecs, who have won 3 of their first 4 games. They are looking for their first win ever against UCLA. And there is Marshall Faulk, the NCAA's leading rusher the last 2 years. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick along with Mike Gottfried. It's great to have you with us. San Diego State is 3-1, even though they're not getting the tremendous numbers from Marshall Faulk that they've grown accustomed to. He is only averaging, and I say only, 105 yards a game against defenses who have literally defied him to try to run the football. And Mike, that certainly opened up other areas of the offense.
It has, Mike, and opponents are not going to let Marshall Faulk beat him running the football. They're going to crowd the line of scrimmage with 8 players and dare San Diego State to throw the football. In the 4th quarter of the Air Force game, Tim Gutierrez came in at quarterback position, replaced David Lowry, who was injured, and since that point, the passing game has just taken off. They have a bona fide All-American receiver in Darnay Scott, and this pass offense ranks 5th in the nation. So tonight, look for San Diego State to come out throwing the football, throw it to Marshall Faulk, and then hopefully that'll open up the running game.
UCLA comes in 1-2, but that record is very misleading. They lost by 2 points to number 17 California, by 1 point to number 6 Nebraska, and then beat Stanford when Stanford was ranked 18th. And Mike, they played well on both sides of the ball.
They did. Saturday at Stanford, they gained 259 yards rushing and held Stanford to 33 yards rushing. They controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they've done in this series. They've controlled the line of scrimmage and beat San Diego State 9 in a row. But we talked to Terry Donahue last night. He said, we've enjoyed a physical mismatch at the line of scrimmage in this series, but he said it doesn't exist tonight. Look for UCLA to try to get more balance in their offense.
And here come the Bruins, 15-0-1 in this series, which will come to an end tonight. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff from San Diego in just a moment. San Diego for UCLA against San Diego State. Mike Patrick and Mike Gottfried with you, and roaming the sidelines for us as always, our colleague Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thank you very much, Michael, and hello, everyone. If you love offense and electrifying skill position players, you will thoroughly enjoy tonight's contest. Besides Heisman Trophy candidate Marshall Faulk, we're going to show you 2 of the finest wide receivers in the nation, San Diego State's Darnay Scott and UCLA's J.J. Stokes. Ironically, both grew up right here in the Southern California sun and surf of San Diego. UCLA Stokes earned the nickname Big Play JJ in last season's finale against arch-rival Southern Cal. His career day included 6 receptions for a school record 263 yards and 3 touchdowns. For San Diego State, dangerous Darnay Scott, the preseason All-American, ranked 2nd in the nation in both receptions and total receiving yards. When he executes the fade, so go the fortunes of the opposing team. These 2 guys pose so many problems for opposing defenses. They are so quick, they're difficult to cover. And if they catch the ball, if you're not careful, they're so physical, they'll turn a short reception into long yardage. Mike?
All right, Jerry, thanks very much. And that is Terry Donahue, who has won 132 games in a great career and won at least 9 games in 8 different seasons. Also has a brilliant bowl record. Al Luganville has had San Diego State in contention for the WAC championship the last 2 years, and they are one of the favorites again this season. Crowd of over 40,000 expected on hand tonight, and the tie was back in the 20s. Last year, UCLA won at 35-7, and as you mentioned earlier, Mike, UCLA has always seemingly enjoyed a physical mismatch, but San Diego State seems to have the feeling that maybe they've overcome that.
They feel like this is the year because their front four is very physical. They feel like they have another weapon now in the new quarterback, and so he may be able to spring Marshall Faulk loose.
UCLA will receive the opening kickoff. And a redshirt freshman out of Lancaster, California, Peter Holt, will kick it away. 5'10", 170 pounds, and he'll kick to freshman Andy Colbert and redshirt freshman Derek Ayers. Crowd on its feet here in San Diego. They would love nothing better than finally to pin one on UCLA. And this one will go in and out of the end zone, so UCLA will start from the 20 on offense. Take a look at the McDonald's starting lineups. Sharman Shaw keyed the win over Stanford. The sophomore rushed for a school record 40 times for a career-high 187 yards. J.J. Stokes already owns several lines in the UCLA record books. Terry Donahue calls him his team's most potent weapon. And Vaughn Parker, a preseason All-American, he's the only starter in the same spot from the starting lineup 2 weeks ago because of injuries. UCLA out of the eye, and Shaw on the first carry up to the 29-yard line. Take a look at the San Diego State defense. Leroy Glover, the only underclassman up front for the Aztecs. Their best run stopper. He leads the line in tackles. Terrell Steen needs a big game tonight against the running game. He's the second leading tackler. He has the speed to run down plays. Darrell Lewis, a fifth-year senior, second-team all-conference a year ago. He provides leadership in a veteran secondary. Second and a yard to go. Shaw, the single setback, he'll get the carry and has the first down. Leroy Glover had him around the ankle. And for people who have followed San Diego State's defense, this is a new look, Mike.
They've been an 8-man front defensive football team with a lot of blitzes. They've changed. They have a new defensive coordinator named Del Wright, who came from Fresno State. He has them in the tilt defense. George Perlis made it famous with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Michigan State. That's Del Wright, the defensive coordinator.
Shaw and Milliner are the backs. Wayne Cook to throw for the first time. Has time and throws complete up to the 49-yard line to Kevin Jordan out of Beltsville, Maryland. A gain of 18. Wayne Cook was going to be the starter for this ball club a year ago. He was hurt in the opening game, blew out a knee, came back, won the job this year, and last season was a quarterback nightmare for UCLA. They went through 4 guys.
Homer Smith told me about Wayne Cook. He says he's ever improving. He doesn't get upset. Very confident young quarterback.
UCLA moving the ball easily here at the beginning. Shaw. A couple this time, brought down at the 47.
Mike, it was interesting last night when we talked to the UCLA players. We talked to J.J. Stokes and tackle Vaughn Parker, and they both kept saying, hey, we have a great game plan. I kept asking, why do you think it's a great game plan? They just said, we have so much confidence in Homer Smith, the offensive coordinator. We believe in what we're going to do tonight. They really were confident.
Second down, 6 yards to go. The single setback is Darren Washington. Into the flat, and they've got another first down as they hit Brian Allen. He would have been the starting tight end, and that is the first catch by a tight end this year. He came off arthroscopic knee surgery before the opener.
Well, we talked about the new defense, and you see how they tilt the nose guard, and what they're trying to do there is get the center and two guards to block 2 people. Now you see the stunt after the snap, but UCLA picked it up.
First time in San Diego State territory at the 39-yard line. Shaw gets to about the 36, and this is very reminiscent, Mike, of what UCLA has been able to do against San Diego State in the past.
In the past, they've just controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. You see Sharman Shaw, number 33, coming off the field, which would really hurt UCLA to lose him.
They are already down Skip Hicks, who is the freshman sensation from Wichita Falls, Texas. Shaw is their second leading back. Darren Washington, the number 3 guy, has an ankle injury. So James Milner right now, who is the 4th tailback, is on the field. Blitz with time pass nearly picked up, and it's caught at the sideline by Stokes to the 10, 5, touchdown UCLA.
Mike, credit the offensive line with a good job picking up the stunts in the middle, and also Wayne Cook. Now, we talked about the injured tailback, so the pressure's going to fall on number 15, Wayne Cook, in the passing game, because they're down 2 tailbacks already. Darren Washington's in with an injured ankle, so Wayne Cook really has to perform tonight in the passing game.
Bjorn Merton is on for the point after, and I'm not sure on that play if Leonard Jones may have not been blinded by the sun. It looked like he had a chance at the interception, and the ball went right by him. Merton for the point after knocks it through. It was either he or Eric Sutton over there on the coverage.
The offensive line of UCLA really makes this play. See the tight splits not to allow any penetration by the twisting defensive line. See the protection for Wayne Cook, and the touchdown throw to J.J. Stokes. No one gets in. There's a late blitz by the middle linebacker. J.J. Stokes of San Diego State recruited as a tight end. He said, I'm no tight end. I'm a wide receiver, and you know he has to be happy coming back to score that touchdown.
And it was Leonard Jones who just missed him, and Wayne Cook with his 3rd touchdown pass of the year, as opposed to only 1 interception. So UCLA takes the opening kickoff and marches 80 yards to put 7 on the board. And psychologically, that's got to take an awful lot out of San Diego State.
It does, but also you have to remember number 28's on that other sideline, and anytime his hands are on the football, he can make this a tie ball game. But I think the key for San Diego State tonight is Tim Gutierrez, the quarterback, number 12. He has to perform like he's been performing since the Air Force game.
Darnay Scott is the center deep man as Bjorn Merton lines it up to kick. Scott, with blazing speed, has averaged 25-3 on 3 kickoff returns so far this year. He's a threat to break any one of them. Scott drifts under it at the 3. Didn't even get back to the 15-yard line. Tremendous kick coverage by UCLA. Take a look at the San Diego State offense, and of course Marshall Faulk, the brilliant back, the only player besides Herschel Walker to be an AP All-American as a freshman and sophomore. Darnay Scott having a great year. Defenses loading up for Faulk. He's 2nd in the country with 150 yards a game receiving. Chris Finch is the youngest starter on the offensive line, maybe the best too, a 290-pound sophomore and all-conference candidate. And Marshall Faulk will go into a slot on the first play. No backs behind Gutierrez, who has been terrific in 5 quarters of action. And here comes the blitz. Underneath, the Faulk makes the catch at the 21-yard line. Up front for UCLA, George Case at 255, an undersized noseman. His nickname is Psycho, and he plays like one. 3rd on the team in tackles. Butkus Award candidate Jameer Miller leads the linebackers. He's number 1 on the club in sacks after doing it last season. Marvin Goodwin, an aggressive hitter in the mold of UCLA safeties. Last season, he was a first-team sophomore All-American. 2nd and 3. Man front for UCLA, and Faulk got maybe a yard. Marshall Faulk, and there is a flag down on the play well after the play was over. Personal foul against UCLA.
Well, that's not going to please Terry Donahue, because he has a all-whack officiating crew tonight, and he mentioned to us last night, real concerned about that.
Certainly a lot of guys piled on top of Marshall Faulk, and they were there a long time.
The call may be on number 22, Marvin Goodwin.
He just kept going after the whistle. And it's an automatic first down for San Diego State up to their own 38-yard line. UCLA was playing run all the way that time. Gutierrez out in the flat to Scotty. Has a catch up to the 50-yard line. Gain of 12 and another San Diego State first down.
Well, they spread you out so much, Mike, that this is going to be there against UCLA, the quick passing game to Darnay Scott. Now they bring both backs, Marshall Faulk and Pittman, into the backfield. Look at the cushion that they give to Darnay Scott. Carl Greenwood, number 21, is way off. They're going to let him catch the ball in the flat. They just do not want to give him the home run.
Of course, he's so dangerous after he makes the catch. He can beat him that way, too. Faulk the single setback again. Here comes the blitz. Gutierrez hangs in there, throws complete. Pick up about 8 yards. Mark Ziegler, the tight end. Robert Gamble from Overland Park, Kansas. The corner on the left side had to make the tackle. Gutierrez is 3 for 3, 27 yards, and showing an awful lot of poise.
Tim Gutierrez, number 12, since he came in the Air Force game in the fourth quarter, has just shown a lot of composure. Here under the pressure, he's able to get the ball off for the big gain.
Two wide receivers, two tight ends. Scott is out of the ball game. Faulk the single setback. He'll get the carry. Cut back against the grain to pick up a couple to the UCLA 38-yard line. He has rung up some marvelous numbers in his 2-year and 5-game career, averaging 149 yards, but against UCLA only averaging 98.5. And you really can't lay that at the doorstep of Marshall Faulk, as you can't the numbers he's had this year. The defense, including UCLA, says we're going to stop the run first, play pass second. You got to beat us that way.
But when you look at it, he's still averaging 5.2 yards per carry, which is pretty good.
Scott is back in flank to the top of your screen. Gutierrez looking this way, throws complete. Has another first down to the 29-yard line. Keith Williams from Stockton, California, who's had trouble holding on to the ball. Gutierrez got into the ball game a couple of weeks ago because David Lowry suffered a stress fracture in his leg. He'll be out 3 to 6 weeks. This is a kid with a brilliant high school career. Look at the numbers against Minnesota. I mean, he was just awesome, 32 of 48. But he threw for more than 7,000 yards in high school. Second and a yard. Running room to the right side. They'll come back to the other side. Faulk cuts inside the block. Marshall Faulk to the 20 to the 17-yard line, where safety Marvin Goodwin had to bring him down. A gain of 13. He doesn't need much, does he?
No, he doesn't. In the passing game, San Diego State is opening up the run. First down, they're throwing the ball successfully. Then they come back here with a tailback counter. Do a nice job of blocking the UCLA front down inside, and you just give him a little seam, and he's off and running. Good block by Chris Finch, number 67.
Faulk in his career, look at that, 3,480 yards in just over 2 years, the all-time leader in everything. Faulk, 3 carries, 23 yards. First and 10, San Diego State. Another blitz, Gutierrez again. Out in the flat, he's got another completion. That's halfback Ray Peterson. Gutierrez reminding the San Diego people of Dan Fouts. He's been perfect.
Well, they spread the field again. You just talk about defending. This is a tough offense to defend. Watch here. Number the flat route by Ray Peterson is going to be wide open. The 2 outside receivers clear. There's the flat route. You have him versus a strong safety, and Ray Peterson is wide open.
You wonder if Marshall Faulk minds this? He says, no, the idea is to win, baby.
He's licking his chops right now, because if they can have success throwing the football, it's just going to open him up.
2 wide receivers to the near side. First and goal. Faulk straight up the middle. Ran into his own man. Couldn't go anywhere. Really gummed up by Jameer Miller, number 95, who was in the backfield at the time of the handoff.
Number 95, Jameer Miller, who a lot of coaches say is an impact player, makes things happen. He just beat the block of Alex Semnick. Mark Ziegler, 85. Here's where you have to be conscious of Darnay Scott on the fade route. Number 6.
Scott already has 6 touchdowns receiving. Third and a yard.
4 tight ends into the game, Mike.
first down. A flag is down, and it looked like motion on San Diego State. One of those 4 tight ends lurched forward a little bit, and I think they caught him. Jameer Miller made the tackle. There is the motion call by the WAC official, our referee tonight, William McCabe. Knows the mistakes you can't make against a UCLA.
Well, the big question is, did he make the first down? I think UCLA wants him to measure to see if he made the first down or not. If he didn't make the first down, they may refuse the penalty and make it a 4th down
have
situation
4th and inches
and hope they'll kick the field goal.
Darnay Scott was not in on the last play. There he is on the sidelines.
Penalty against the offense. Repeat the 3rd down.
And they will back him up. I'm sorry, they did decline the penalty. This is risky, isn't it?
Well, it is by Terry Donahue, but I think he did the right thing. Now you got a 4th down situation, and San Diego State's going to go for it. Now they're taking the penalty.
Well, I thought I heard him say repeat 3rd down, so that they would have to take the penalty. I think they're going to talk about it, and UCLA wants a timeout. 7:48 to go in the first quarter. We'll sort it out after this.
CFA is brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates, and by American Express Corporate Card. To your success.
Beautiful campus of San Diego State University. Just a pleasure for the eyes to be out there. UCLA leading it here in the mid of the first quarter, but San Diego State has the ball deep in UCLA territory after UCLA accepted the motion penalty. So it's going to be 3rd and a long 5 for the Aztecs. They need to reach just about the 7-yard line for a first down.
Need to stay on Darnay Scott, who's really difficult to cover down here, but Marshall Falk also is a receiver out of the backfield.
Scott is wide left. Looking that way, Gutierrez throwing, and it's intercepted, picked up by Carl Greenwood, and he played it beautifully. So Gutierrez did not make a single bad throw until they got into scoring territory, and he'd love to have that one back.
Looked like, Mike, either the ball was tipped or he double pumped somehow, because Darnay Scott's going to come down and run a short post route, but the ball is late being delivered. See the good defense by Carl Greenwood, number 21. It's in perfect position. Didn't look like Tim Gutierrez did not get enough on that football, but that defense was played well by Carl Greenwood. He was in perfect position.
His first interception of the season is a big one. UCLA takes over at its own 20, up 7-0 after snuffing out a scoring threat. Washington is the tailback. And he'll get the carry. Big hole to run through. Washington barrels up to the 30-yard line. There's a flag down on the play. And you know what Terry Donahue is thinking. Let's go out and muscle these guys for another 80 yards. This will be a hold against UCLA, and it will come back to the 10.
I'm impressed with the depth at tailback for UCLA.
Yeah.
Holding. 10-yard penalty against the offense. Repeat, first down.
Let's check in with Jerry Punch. Jerry?
Guys, in the initial series, sophomore running back Sharmon Shaw limped off the field. They checked him on the UCLA sidelines. He was complaining of sharp pain in his left knee. Now, back in August, he underwent arthroscopic surgery on that knee, removed the meniscal cartilage, the meniscus, the pad that helps pad the knee itself. He should be back in the ball game, but they're going to hold him out early on in this series. Back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Jerry. And as we said, already missing Skip Hicks. Will gain 148 yards against Nebraska. Pretty fair country defense. This time they'll go with Milliner. And Milliner up near the 20-yard line. There is Vaughn Parker, 6'3", 300 pounds, a young man from Buffalo, New York, who is a Lombardi and an Outland Trophy candidate. How did he get here from Buffalo? He made the mistake of visiting UCLA in January, and he was a cinch to come out here. 2nd and 10. He's a tremendous blocker and the only one of the starters who's been in the same spot the last 2 weeks. Milner, the deep man in the eye. Cook throwing, and that's complete up to the 34-yard line. Should be a first down. Complete to Stokes. Good coverage by Leonard Jones, but Cook got it right in there.
What makes this play is if J.J. Stokes comes off the football. Watch how he runs this route. He's going to make it look like it's going to be a takeoff against Leonard Jones. Watch. Now you think he's going to take off, and he stops, and now he comes back for the football, which is a key ingredient in catching the football.
If he runs that pattern and the ball's thrown well, you can't stop him.
Very difficult because he's 6'4", 214 against the 6', 180 corner.
Washington, the single setback. Cook on a little half roll, throws on the run, complete to Jordan up at the 42-yard line. Jordan brought down by Sutton and Terrell Steen.
Just talked about Vaughn Parker, number 68, out of Buffalo, New York. So let's just watch him on pass protection here as he sinks back and blocks number 90. Armando Stallings feels him inside for Wayne Cook to get outside and make the throw.
We talked to Parker and Stokes both last night. Very well-spoken young men.
Cook confident.
Yes, they are. Cook 5 for 5, 88 yards and a touchdown so far. Milner to the 49-yard line, gain of about 4.
I talked to Keith Gilbertson the other day, who's the Cal head coach and whose team has won over both of these teams, and he said the key in this ball game, having played them both, would be the UCLA receivers versus the San Diego State secondary. And I think that's true to form right now because they have had trouble stopping the big receivers. Del Wright, the defensive coordinator.
2nd and 6 out of the split backs to the eye. Washington, the deep man. Washington will get the carry and was knocked back near a first down at the 45-yard line. Looks like he'll be about half a yard shy. Chris Johnson was in on the tackle and gave him a pretty good whack too. So it's 3rd and inches at the San Diego State 45. And UCLA has been able to do this the last 3 times that they have gone against San Diego State, averaging 323 yards a game. Washington, the single setback, 3 wide receivers. Quarterback keeper by Cook, and I don't think he got there. San Diego State swarming on defense. And Cook will be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage.
The referee's holding up the fourth, so they're not going to give it to him. Looking down the line of scrimmage, want your defensive lineman to get pad under pad. There's no movement at all by the young quarterback.
And Terry Donahue has made his decision. He will go for it on 4th and inches, or at least appear to go for it on 4th and inches. Washington just got it, and there is a flag down or a marker. The ball came loose, and San Diego State says they have it, and they do. Oh, what a flow of emotion on that play. It looked like they had the first down. Huge break for them, but then they fumble the ball. Huge break for the Aztecs.
One of the problems you have at UCLA is the injured running backs we talked about. They can't practice full speed during the week, so the full speed work they get is in the ball game. Darren Washington, number 30, gets stripped by Mark Roberts, number 37.
San Diego State football will be back in a moment. Terry Donahue gambles early and loses, going for it on 4th and inches from the San Diego State 45-yard line. The kind of thing that can turn momentum in a game around. We have 3:56 to go. First quarter, the Bruins leading by a touchdown.
Ball's in great position to go for the home run here with Darnay Scott.
Jameer Miller setting up on the outside. Scott to the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. Falk against it, hit in the backfield, never had a chance. Planted.
Donnie Edwards, outside linebacker. read this play from the start. Tailback counter play, again, a misdirection. Number 23, Donnie Edwards, just works inside, never blocked, makes the tackle on Marshall Faulk.
2nd and 15, and that's one of the reasons his numbers are down this year. He's been seeing 8-man fronts, run blitzes, and we have a player down, and it's Jameer Miller. Led them a year ago with 6 sacks, already had 3 coming into this ball game. And UCLA has lost several players to injury early in the season. Let's check in with Jerry Punch. Doctor?
Gentlemen, confidence so important for a young quarterback. A moment ago when Tim Gutierrez threw the interception in the end zone, he was very, very upset. The first one has to really hurt. He threw his helmet down, came over, sat on the bench, hung his head down. He and Darnay Scott side by side looking down toward the ground. Immediately, quarterback coach Sean Payton came over, said, look, you guys, you got to forget it. Just forget about it. What we've just proven to ourselves is that we can move the ball on the UCLA offense. And Coach Gottfried, that first interception's a tough one to swallow.
I used to play quarterback. I threw that in the first minute. But your first one, there's going to be many more to follow. But because when you play against good secondaries, it's tough. But he has to get over that in this ball game.
Major League Baseball coming your way tomorrow night with a live doubleheader. There are only 2 teams alive in 1 pennant race, and we've got both of them. At 7:30, the Rockies go against the Atlanta Braves, and at 10:30, the Giants will be on the road to face the Dodgers in Los Angeles. The Braves go into tonight's action with a 1-game lead over the Giants, including tonight. Both teams have 4 games left to play. Gutierrez with time to throw and throws complete in UCLA territory at the 47-yard line. And we have a score, Braves and Astros 2-2, top of the 3rd. That was Curtis Shearer who got that last catch, his 12th of the year.
The key for Tim Gutierrez is to read the outside backers for UCLA. They're trying to stay inside to talk him out of not running Marshall Faulk. Then when the ball's thrown, you'll see Goodwin, Donnie Edwards try to get to the outside to help on the outside throws.
Gain of 13 on the last pass, so it's 3rd and 2. 7-man front this time for UCLA. Gutierrez throwing, and it's an easy first down to the big man, Darnay Scott. And Mike, you're right. They are giving him so much room. That pattern is there all day long.
And you just have to have patience to just keep throwing it until they stop you. The top of the screen, Darnay Scott, number 6. Look at the cushion. But the inside defender now can't get out because they have a receiver in his zone. Darnay Scott wide open and makes the catch.
Very well designed. Gutierrez, 7 out of 8, 69 yards. Look at the numbers on Scott. Almost 18 yards a catch and 607 yards and the 34 catches. 2nd in the country. Scott flanked wide to the near side this time. Faulk. And holding on for dear life was Psycho, the middle guard, George Case.
I wonder if his family likes him being called Psycho. What's your son's name? Psycho.
Well, he's a business economics major. I think you have to be sort of psycho to be in that field, too, don't you? He says he has to do everything he can just to survive out there, or he'll be crushed. He's 255 pounds, listed there at 245.
You see him going to his first interview? Hello, I'm Psycho.
Oh, we'd hire him. 2nd and 6. UCLA showing blitz. Gutierrez play action. Look out from behind. Fumble. Picked up by UCLA. Shane Jasper. And Marshall Faulk chased him down and saved the touchdown.
Great players make great plays. Marshall Faulk was blocked. He was already across the line of scrimmage. He was blocked by 2 UCLA players. Still was able to come back and make this play.
Andrew McClave causes the fumble. Gutierrez never saw him.
It took too long to develop. Number 42, Andrew McClave, makes the tackle. Now Shane Jasper picks it up. You see the little block on Marshall Faulk, but he will not stay blocked. Able to come back and make the tackle on Shane Jasper. Marshall Faulk just would not give up.
Tremendous effort. And brought down the 243-pound linebacker. But UCLA sets up shop at the 6-yard line. Washington fell off one tackle, maybe picked up a yard. Brought down by Chris Johnson, the strong side safety. Well, Falk was recruited by everybody, and I mean everybody in the world, as a defensive back because they saw his speed, the fact that he did chase down plays like that. San Diego State was the one school that said, we'll give you a shot at running back. After 3 plays in practice, the first one, they said, well, there's no doubt where he belongs. 2nd and goal at the 5. Washington, student body right. To the goal line, touchdown. Hurdled the last 2 defenders, and Troy Aldrich, his tight end, was out there giving him a block.
Boy, Mike, Brian Allen, number 86, really makes the key block, the tight end. When you run the toss play, the tight end really has to get a good block. Brian Allen, number 86, just watch him reach out here and get the block that really starts this play. There's the block. Now watch him seal it inside. Now the fullback, James Milliner, comes through with a block, and Darren Washington in for the touchdown.
Bjorn Merton on for the point after to make it 14-0, but there's a flag down on the play, and they'll stop it. Once again, UCLA comes up with a play to take the starch out of San Diego State as they were moving the ball again. This one will go against the Aztecs.
Bobby Field, the defensive coordinator at UCLA, really is trying to pressure Tim Gutierrez, the young quarterback.
Boy, he got to him that time. Blindsided.
First quarter, he's caused a fumble and an interception on the young quarterback.
Half the distance to the goal on the penalty. And Merton for the point after. 14-0 UCLA. Darren Washington with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. To go first quarter, UCLA on top of San Diego State 14-0, and that aerial shot courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Today's pilot Tom Mattis from Huntington Beach, California. Goodyear floating over the earth. Keith Williams is back to receive. There's Marshall Falk on the sideline, who initially saved the touchdown, but then saw UCLA get it anyway. Hasn't had much room to run. Williams takes it at the 1 and stepped out of bounds. The chalk flew. The official did not make a call, and then Williams stepped out of bounds.
The San Diego State went to a special teams coach this year. No one else coaches the special teams. There's a special teams coach, and he can't be real happy with Keith Williams. You have to let that football go. Al Luganbell is talking to him, but he has to leave it go and see where the ball is going to bounce. His momentum took him right out of bounds. There's a chalk.
But the official didn't do anything at that point. That's inside the 1-yard line. And then Williams, thinking he was clearly out of bounds, he saw the chalk too, stepped out of bounds over the 1. So now they start in a huge hole. Falk the single setback. And Gutierrez will give him the football, just trying to get some breathing room, maybe a yard. Falk 7 carries, 17 yards. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter of play. So San Diego State has been able to move the football, but they haven't been able to score. The Bruins have twice, and it's 14-0. To second quarter from San Diego, California. UCLA with a 14-0 lead. San Diego State backed up to its own 2-yard line. Second down. Falk the single setback. Trying to get some running room. 5, 10, 15-yard line. First down, San Diego State. The Aztecs have been able to move the ball, but mistakes have killed them. On their opening drive, Gutierrez got it down to the goal line and then floated one into the end zone that was picked off by Carl Greenwood. And then a blitz from the blind side, and the resulting fumble set up the second UCLA touchdown. And then the muffed kickoff return as Williams stepped out of bounds at the 1. Flag is down. Somebody move. And it will be a procedure call. And back San Diego State up 5 yards. You get the feeling Al Luganville and San Diego State need something good to happen for them here. They need a great break their way.
They really do, but they need to be patient. They've moved the football. They just made some critical mistakes, but when you have weapons like Scott and Marshall Faulk, just be patient.
Here comes the blitz. Unload to Scott again with all the room in the world. Gets by Greenwood and has another first down. And that pattern is consistently open. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Guys, you hear the old football saying you need to put a hat on a hat? Well, that's what happened to UCLA junior Jameer Miller behind me. He sustained the concussion in the previous defensive series. Came off the football field, was very wobbly. Right now, he's having trouble focusing and has quite a headache. He may or may not get back in. If he doesn't clear by halftime, they're going to hold him out for the entire game. Back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Jerry. And playing football with a headache is less than fun. And in his place right now, Philip Ward, a redshirt freshman. Ball again, hit in the backfield. Boy, I tell you, I have to feel sorry for that young man. He has such tremendous ability. And when you don't get a chance to play, it's got to be terribly frustrating.
Well, the other thing about it is when you go to the one back, there's no lead blockers. So when you get penetration like George Case, number 59, there's no one to pick him up. And that's what UCLA is trying to do at the line of scrimmage. Get some penetration on Marshall Faulk. Keep him cupped up. Do not allow him to get a breakaway move.
Faulk, 9 carries, 28 yards. Pittman is his replacement on this play, 44. Fine back in his own right. Shearer got it out to the 35-yard line, about 3 yards shy of a first down. Teddy Lawrence, who had 8 tackles a week ago for UCLA, was in on that stop.
Even though this play's there, the quick game, UCLA is really tattooing the quarterback, Tim Gutierrez. Number 52, and Cozy Littleton on the last play, number 54, smacked the quarterback just to get the ball off. Now, watch the defense here now. This is a 3-step drop, but you have to have time to throw this football. Pass protection has not been good for San Diego State.
Even so, Gutierrez, 9 out of 10, 95 yards. Did throw the interception in the end zone, though. 3rd and 3. Here comes another blitz. Unload. Scott went way up. Couldn't pull this one down. Scott went as high as he could. Just got a hand on it.
Mike, this is not a good sign for San Diego State. When you can't protect the 3-step drop, here's another 3-step drop by Tim Gutierrez. Watch him get belted just as he throws the football. Andrew McClave for 42 pressuring him, and UCLA, when they spread him out, they're just going to bring those linebackers inside.
Ed Koziski will punt. That was the 6th time that the quarterback has been nailed as he threw. And Paul Gidry averaging 5.5 yards of return back for UCLA. Beautiful punt. Gidry from the 20. Got a wall to the right side if he can get there. San Diego State closes the hole. He got back to the 37-yard line, and John Lewis, a defensive back, made the tackle, but it's after a return of 17.
This year during the World Series,
They go California just before sunset. Doesn't get much better, does it? Could get better for San Diego State. The Aztecs have had an opening rough quarter. They're down 14-0 to UCLA. They thought this could be the year when they got the Bruins. Right now, UCLA with the ball at its own 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Washington is the running back. Cook to throw. Plenty of time. Unloads. Stokes out there. J.J. Stokes to the 13-yard line. Eric Sutton made the tackle, but Cook put it right on the numbers for 48 yards.
Wayne Cook with a beautiful throw to the 6'4" receiver, J.J. Stokes. And when you have a 6'4" receiver and you get him in a one-on-one situation versus a 5'10" corner, Eric Sutton, watch him use his body a little bit, push off Eric Sutton. Watch him just slow down a little bit, make that catch for the big gain.
Already 3 catches for 98 yards for Stokes. Washington up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage. Dives forward. Middle linebacker Mark Roberts is playing with a bad shoulder, made a tackle there. Speaking of injuries, UCLA has been injured in the last couple of games. Skip Hicks, the sensational freshman running back. Most of that yardage came against Nebraska. He won't play. And Jonathan Ogden, a starting offensive lineman, is also in street clothes. But UCLA overcoming those injuries right now very well. 2nd and 9. Comes the safety blitz. Washington dumped in the backfield. And San Diego State timed that one perfectly. Darrell Lewis, the free safety, got him in the backfield. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, Mike, you can add to the injury list for UCLA. It's growing by play by play. Last week's hero against Stanford, their leading rusher, Sharmon Shaw, is out for the evening. He is on the sideline standing with a gray T-shirt, ice on his right shoulder, also on his right knee. He is called it a night. Back upstairs.
Boy, Terry Donahue's got to worry about all the outstanding players that he is losing. 3rd and 11. Cook with time. Stokes, touchdown. Well, Stokes and Cook are still there. Eric Sutton beat on the post pattern. Nice throw by Cook.
You know, going through his mind is, you think I was a tight end, huh? But you know, when you recruit, sometimes you're looking for different things in receivers. I'm not so sure he couldn't be a tight end.
Cook, 7 out of 7, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stokes has caught both the scoring passes and 4 of the 7. And Merton with the point after to make it 21-0 UCLA.
J.J. Stokes just hit him on a deep route. Now he's going to try to make a move to show the defensive back the outside move, and then the quick post. One-on-one, the safety can't be a factor. Wayne Cook just winds up and throws the football, and touchdown for UCLA.
Pretty good coverage by Eric Sutton. He's right there, and Cook with his 2nd touchdown pass. He knows how big that was. One of the interesting things about Stokes, according to the coaches, is he's got a tremendous work ethic. As Marshall Faulk's got to be more and more disappointed. Stokes says there's always something you can work at to get better. People playing against him must wonder what he's been working on now.
Well, Homer Smith, the offensive coordinator, said he really studies game tape. He's always mentally prepared. And on Wednesday, when I talked to Homer Smith, he says we just have to give him a chance to catch more long balls, and that's what they're doing tonight.
He's been terrific so far. And so has Cook. Has not missed a pass. Actually, Gutierrez has played very well for San Diego State, and he's been under such tremendous pressure trying to throw the ball. Cook has had plenty of time to do it. Darnay Scott from the 1. San Diego State needs a big play, and they're not going to get it there. Scott gets up to the 24-yard line. Hope you'll be with us every Saturday at 11:30 in the morning for College Game Day. Chris, Lee, and Craig preview all the games in story. At 12:30, Big Ten. The Hawkeyes of Iowa take on number 10, Michigan. Then at 7 o'clock, the Residents Inn College Football Scoreboard Show. And at 7:30, our CFA primetime matchup, the defending national champion Crimson Tide of Alabama, second ranked this week against the Gamecocks of South Carolina from Williams-Brice.
Mike, one of the things San Diego State might do is bring a tight end to the ball game and just go with some two-receiver routes. Like this formation right here. Let the tight end stand and block and throw the two-receiver routes.
Jameer Miller back in the ball game. Ball trying to get outside. Look at that speed. Takes a shot as he got to the sideline and will pick up about 5. He turned nothing into 5 yards. Carl Greenwood really stuck him.
When the tight end's in the ball game, they're going to fire linebackers. Number 23, Donnie Edwards, on the blitz. But watch him. He never gives up, and he goes flat down the line of scrimmage. He didn't make a mistake of getting too far in the backfield. Ends up getting in on the play.
Darnay Scott over there trying to throw him a block. 2nd and 7 as they mark it back at the 28-yard line. Back to the 3 wide receiver set. Gutierrez sort of sidearmed that one, and it was intercepted but out of bounds. Robert Gamble, great timing and tremendous concentration falling out of bounds. Gutierrez sidearmed that ball and it floated on it.
They have the young quarterback, Tim Gutierrez, all shook up because he throws this football. Doesn't get much on it. Should have been intercepted. Robert Gamble, number 24, almost brought it in, but
boy, you look at a replay. He did bring it in.
You have to. Now what San Diego State has to think about, they've got to think about slowing down this rush a little bit with a draw or screen. Another look at Robert Gamble, number 24.
May not have had a leg down as he went out of bounds, but he did catch it. 3rd and 7. Gutierrez forced out of the pocket. Sidearms another one complete to Darnay Scott. Greenwood gets a lot of help, makes the tackle at the 44, but it's a first down San Diego State.
Flag down also, Mike.
And roughing the passer as Gutierrez was nailed after the play. He's got to think, boy, that's unfair. Finally, I get away from the pressure, and they get me anyway.
Darnay Scott, number 6. Just a curl route, but again, good receivers come back to the football. Carl Greenwood making a tackle.
Now let's see what we see on the roughing the passer call. Jameer Miller coming from behind. Oh, yeah. Hey, there's no reason for that.
Well, he said, I have a headache. You're going to have one, too.
Gutierrez already has a headache. He's been hit every time he has thrown the football. Move it down to the UCLA 41-yard line. Couple of breaks for San Diego State tonight. They have been unable to convert, and they've made the big mistake after they've gotten a break.
They have to slow down the rush somehow. Screen, draw. Now you're in an area of the field where you've got trick play possibilities. Marshall Faulk can throw the football. He's a former high school quarterback. You have to try to keep UCLA off balance.
Might run that halfback option about 12 times a game, wouldn't you?
Yes.
UCLA comes on the blitz again. Faulk picks it up. Gutierrez throwing for Scott. Underthrown. Almost intercepted right in the hands of Greenwood, who had the one in the end zone.
Tim Gutierrez is shook up, and on this play, he really doesn't get his feet set. He knows he had a touchdown if he just could get something on the football. Number 21, Carl Greenwood, sees that the ball is going to be underthrown. Now he's going for the interception all the way. Darnay Scott comes back, but watch Gutierrez's feet. Quarterback, you want to always be stepping toward the target. He's stepping back, fading back a little bit, under pressure again.
Matt Werner, number 92, right in his face. Gutierrez 10 out of 14, 110 yards. There goes Marshall Faulk, dragging bodies with him close to a first down at the 31. So fast, so strong, and he, after Al Luganville got him and Darnay Scott, he put San Diego State on the map in big-time college football.
Well, Al Luganville said the other day, he said there's no words to describe what Marshall Faulk has meant to this program. He said he broke a draw in the Minnesota game and the stadium just came unglued. Everybody here is caught up with Marshall Faulk.
And they have had 6 straight home crowds of over 40,000. That is a school record, and it's because of that young man. 3rd and 1. Faulk waiting for him at the line of scrimmage, never had a chance.
That's what I I don't like about the one-back set and short yardage. There's no lead blocker. And when you get penetration, UCLA's getting penetration tonight, your back's going to get hit in the backfield.
Travis Kershke, number 98, came right through a hole. Nobody touched him, and Falk may have lost a yard. Fourth down, and I don't think there's much in this decision.
Not a choice.
8:47 to go first half of play. These are the plays San Diego State has to make down 21-0. To spread the field.
To this point, UCLA's made all the big plays.
UCLA comes on the run blitz, and Marshall Falk will not get the first down. They just simply defied them to run, and San Diego State tried it and didn't make it. Phillip Ward, number 97, and Travis Kershke, number 98, made the tackle.
Too much penetration by UCLA. See, there's no lead blocker. So any kind of penetration, you get the guards pulling, but you see the linemen getting upfield. There's just no one to lead block for Marshall Falk.
They will measure for the first down. Way short. So San Diego State tried the only thing it could, gambling on fourth down, but UCLA's defense stuffed it. 8:31 to go in the half. 21-0 Bruins. 21-0 Bruins, second quarter, and now for tonight's U.S. Army student of the game, he is UCLA nose tackle George Case, a business economics major, a 3.4 grade point average. We extend our congratulations to George and the Case family and to UCLA. Trying to change the image of nose guards. Economics major. UCLA huddled around Terry Donahue for a long time before coming out on the field. Have it at their own 32-yard line, first and 10. First down efficiency, 8 out of 10 times on first down, more than 4 yards. In fact, 152. To the shotgun. And Cook throws, and it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Ramondo Stallings got a hand up. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Del Monmouth, one of the coaching legends here in San Diego. 37 years the head coach at Point Loma High School, Benny Edens. And Benny, you've got 5 guys playing tonight's game. You got to be awfully proud.
Very proud. Very proud. Outstanding young men, all of them.
And one of them already having a great game, J.J. Stokes.
Oh, great game. What a way to come home. Nice homecoming.
Was there something about him early on in his career that told you he was going to be special?
Well, it's just his work ethic. He just worked very hard and had good talent, and the two go together, and it was very nice for him.
And you got 4 on San Diego State's side. One of them started last year as a freshman, Leroy Glover, now playing as a sophomore.
Yeah, he was a super athlete, a high school All-American, and one of the finest linemen we've ever had at the Point.
Tough question for you, Coach. You've had some great ones come through Point Loma. Who is the prize pupil? Who do you consider to be the best that you've coached?
Well, I'd like to say one, but there's a cluster at the top, and there's really a lot of great ones.
A lot of great ones, including Eric Allen, who plays in the Pro Bowl every year for the Philadelphia Eagles. Coach, thanks for joining.
Thank you very much.
3rd and 3. Cook runs the option and doesn't get it. So UCLA tries 2 different things on that series. They come out in the shotgun, had that pass batted down. They try to run the option and had that one stuffed. They'll have to punt it away.
That was a checkoff right there, Mike. They saw the blitz coming. Terry Donahue wanted the option play. Should have pitched it. Terrell Steen, number 42, made a good play on the option.
Darren Shager come in to punt for the first time. He's 3rd in the Pac-10 this year, averaging 41.2. And Ray Peterson waits at his own 25-yard line. They had the rush on, nearly got there, and Shager with a crunching kick. Peterson back to the 12. Nowhere to go, buried at the 17. Marshall Falk and the offense will come back on the field looking for a chance to do something here. Falk, only the 5th player ever in NCAA history to win back-to-back rushing titles. He did it as a freshman and sophomore, only the 2nd ever to do that. 2nd ever 3,000 rushing yards in his first 2 seasons and 145 yards a game. That is the 4th all-time average.
Sometimes you can call a game subconsciously. You're trying to always get him the ball, and he stayed in school an extra year. He didn't leave for the NFL. He wants to be here. He wants to make San Diego State a football power.
And Wayne Pittman is in his stead right now. Gutierrez That one almost went end over end, incomplete. Of course, most people expecting Marshall Faulk to come out as a junior, maybe Darnay Scott too, the two best players on this ball club. But Marshall Faulk has made no commitment. He said he will wait and see what happens at the end of the year, and he really, I think, impressed some people by living up to his word last year and saying he would not come out as a sophomore.
Well, Al Luganville said he really wants his degree, and he said he's on course to graduate after 4 years.
Second and 10. Gutierrez throws and it's picked off. Intercepted. Donnie Edwards, the outside linebacker, has it. And I'll tell you the reason for that interception. Marshall Faulk was not in the ball game. They had a 4-man front, dropped off the linebacker, so they had 7 men back in pass coverage.
Well, you're right, Mike. It's not the same when number 28's not lined up at the tailback position, and they really go to a different defensive scheme on this play. Now watch the drop now. Here comes the 4-man rush. Now all of a sudden they've been pressuring the whole game. Drop off. Donnie Edwards, number 23, steps in front of the receiver for the interception, and again they've just really confused Tim Gutierrez, quarterback.
The third turnover for San Diego State, the second interception, and Gutierrez knows he would love to have both of those back. Bad throw. Washington muscling his way inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. Ramondo Stallings made the tackle, and Derek Stevens, who's playing left guard today, was leading the way. UCLA playing with a backed-up offensive line, a couple of starters not in there. And they're still doing well.
I think it was impressive when you talked to Terry Donahue last night was he didn't alibi. He had a lot of players out. He said, hey, we've got to win without him, and had a great attitude about his football team. He said, this is a ball club that really is fun to coach. He's always had a great attitude in good or bad times. Second and 7. Cook goes to the shotgun. Plenty of time now under pressure, and he's sacked. Leroy Glover, the sophomore, gets his second sack of the season. UCLA on second down goes to the shotgun. Now here's number 4, Kevin Jordan. They were going to throw the football to him, but he fell down, and then wisely Wayne Cook brought the ball back in, took the sack. Leroy Glover, number 92. Great patience by Cook. No sense to force it. You're down inside the 20. 3rd and 14. You better make sure J.J. Stokes is covered down here. Del White, the defensive coordinator. Stokes to the near side. That's the way Cook is looking. Throws to the end zone, and he couldn't hold it. Diving in the corner, he had beaten Leonard Jones, and Cook missed him by inches. He was open again. You hit him with the streak, then you hit him with the post, and what's the next thing you do? You come back and show him a post, then you break it to the corner. Everybody thinks it's a post. He's got him all turned around, Leonard Jones. The ball's just, the ball's close, so he should have had it. And Cook thought they had another 7. Instead, Bjorn Merton will come on to try a 35-yard field goal. He is 7 out of 10 this year. This would make it 24-0. And Merton drives it through, so UCLA taking advantage of every opportunity, and they lead San Diego State 24-0. We have 5:26 to go in this one. UCLA handily over San Diego State, 24-0. Talking about Jay Barker, the quarterback at Alabama. Can he do any more as a starter? He just keeps going on and has not lost a game. Darnay Scott, the center deep man, with Pittman and DeAndre Maxwell. Scott will take it at the goal line. Flag is down. So is Scott at the 20-yard line. We'll check the penalty. And this will cost San Diego State
Be with us next Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. It is opening night in the National Hockey League. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers, led by second-year star Eric Lindros. Good news for Penguin fans. Kevin Stevens completely recovered from off-season surgery. He will be back on the ice as Pittsburgh takes on Philadelphia. These things sneak up on you, don't they?
It's 90 degrees out.
Yeah, well, they play inside. No problem.
But that was a winter sport.
Well, winter officially starts next Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern then. San Diego State backed up to its 10-yard line after the holding call. Falk is back in there. 2 tight ends. Nowhere to go. That's about 3 yards out of it. Well, Mike, you were right. Every time they come out with 2 tight ends, UCLA just loads up on the line of scrimmage.
Well, when 28's in the ball game, they're going to really crowd the line of scrimmage. Here's the play without Marshall Falk. You see now they've got 5 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker in that frame. We'll come back and show you what it looks like when Marshall Falk's in there.
Again, 2 tight ends. Play action to Falk this time, and Gutierrez with time to throw. Picked off and then dropped. Teddy Lawrence had the ball right in his hand on another underthrown pass.
Let's take a look again here. You got 1 linebacker in here. You got 5 defensive linemen. 6 people without Marshall Falk in the backfield. Now Marshall Falk will come into the play. Now count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8 is sitting over here on the side. They've got 8 players real close to the football when Marshall Falk's lined up at tailback.
Gutierrez started 9 out of 10, but has hit only 1 of his last 7. Now faces a 3rd and 7. UCLA comes with the blitz again. Gutierrez with time, floats it to the sideline. It's complete to Shearer, and that should be another first down. That was a long throw, and the ball took a long time to get there.
That's one of his better throws. The other throws that of late have been throws that have been like lame ducks out there that they're perfect to intercept the football. He has to get a little bit more on the ball.
Of course, a young man that hasn't played that much. He's been behind David Lowery much of his career. Maybe they were able to correct something mechanically on the sideline because he had really dropped the arm down and thrown sidearm. There's Lowery out with a stress fracture in his leg, 3 to 6 weeks, talking to Dr. Jerry Punch. Gutierrez rifled that one and got it complete to Jake Nyberg, who is drilled. Travis Collier came up from the free safety spot. So far, San Diego State, the first drive was their best. The interception occurred in the end zone. They fumbled on their second possession. Had to punt, went for it on 4th down, lost it on downs. Last time they had the ball, only 2 plays, and that ended with an interception. This drive nearly ended with an interception. Dropped by Teddy Lawrence. 2nd and a yard. Scott goes wide left. Blitz again. Gutierrez fumbles the snap and recovers it. Well, UCLA is certainly being single-minded about this. If Marshall Falk is in the game, whether they're in 2 tight ends or a spread formation or not, they are coming.
UCLA defense, 8 quarterback pressures, 1 fumble recovery. 3 passes they've broken up, 2 interceptions, tackle for a loss, and a 4th down stop. So the defense has really controlled this football game for UCLA.
After the loss on the fumble, it's 3rd and 5. Scott comes to the near side. Looks like he has single coverage from Greenwood. And Gutierrez looking that way, hit as he threw and couldn't get it out there. Scott was coming back, and UCLA's defense rotated the zone to have double coverage deep.
The best pass defense known to man is knock the quarterback down. Jameer Miller, number 95, you'll see him come off his block. Some pressure inside. Nkosi Littleton, number 54, there's nothing there for Tim Gutierrez. If he takes a 3-step drop, he can get it off. Anything deeper, 5 steps or 7 steps, he's getting sacked and hit when he throws the football.
Koziski to punt. First one was 45 yards. Guidry at the 27, and he's wrapped up immediately. Robert Gamble The left corner was down on special teams and made the tackle. No return after a punt of 44. Our Thursday night football series for the CFA will continue next week. It all starts at 7:40 Eastern Thursday night with a kickoff show. Chris Lee and Craig preview the weekend. Then a battle in the Big 8 as number 6 Nebraska goes on the road in Stillwater to take on the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Tom Osborne will be going for his 200th career victory at Nebraska. Sometimes it seemed like he got 200 every year.
Felt like he had 200 points against him.
Washington on the inside, handoff out of the shotgun. Milliner in front. Nice defensive play by Leonard Jones, number 22. Let's check in with Jerry Punch.
I'm with the offensive captain and 1991 MVP for San Diego State, David Lowry. And David, you're watching this painfully, I know, from the sidelines. What is UCLA doing primarily on defense that's causing you a problem?
Whatever they're doing, they're stopping our run. They got a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage, and they're bringing their ends and playing mad against our receivers, and they're stopping our run. We got to start burning them outside if we want to get anything going here.
You've been talking with Timmy Gutierrez on the sidelines. What have you said to him?
Told him to hang in there. You know, he's taking the good hits, and he's popping back up, and he's not letting it bother him. He's just got to keep it going out there and take the hits.
How tough has it been on Marshall this year? Everyone's ganging up in the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the only thing that's going to stop that is us connecting on the passing game. We did that last game. Everything went well. We just need to start doing that tonight. Get Tim a little time to throw the ball.
David, thanks for taking time to talk with.
Thank you.
David will be back for the BYU game coming up here in November, which is another Thursday night game, BYU San Diego State. Mike.
All right, Jerry, thanks very much. And certainly a big game for this ball club because it's in the WAC conference. Nice defensive play by Eric Sutton on that last one. There's an unhappy young man right now, very frustrated. 3rd and 5. Ricky Davis, number 31, into the UCLA backfield for the first time. Cook throws on the run and has the first down. The ball stripped away at the end from Kevin Jordan, but it looked like he was able to fall on it. Sutton pulled it away at the end, but Jordan with a heads-up play got it back.
Mike, better pass protection by UCLA. You see Vaughn Parker, number 68, working against Ramondo Stallings, number 96. Of course, he's got his arm wrapped inside of there, which helps. Here you see Wayne Cook getting outside, hitting Kevin Jordan on a little sprint route for the first down.
Milliner and Davis are the backs. Cook in the shotgun. Davis will try that sweep again. Able to turn the corner to midfield and 5 yards more to the San Diego State 45-yard line. This is the number 4 tailback, senior Ricky Davis. He gains 14 yards. They got a pretty good stable there, don't they?
Wow, they may be the new tailback you with this bunch because Ricky Davis, your 4th tailback, comes in. He's fresh, able to run the sweep off of the shotgun.
Terry Donahue, 3 points away from being undefeated. This is a very, very good football team that faces a brutal schedule seemingly every year. This year no different. Davis picking his way and dives forward for a couple. Clock running. We're down to 1:10 to go in the half, and it's been all UCLA, 24-0. Here's what UCLA did at the start of the season. All 3 of these teams in the top 20. Nebraska, of course, number 6. They lose to California by 2, to Nebraska by 1. They won at Stanford by 3. And, I mean, they face just a grind all year long. 2nd and 8. That run by Milliner knocked out of bounds. Talking to Terry Donahue last night, he said, haven't you ever heard that St. Mary's might have a football team? He slipped them in and said, hey, our fans don't want to hear that. We got Miami coming up in a couple of years.
They have played a tough schedule.
Of course, Terry Donahue, like so many veteran coaches, facing some pressure, not having the great record in the last few years. Although certainly understandable what's happened the last couple of years with him. Went through 4 quarterbacks last season after losing Tommy Maddox. 3rd and 4 here. Davis goes to the eye and now in motion. Cook with time. Guns it over the middle. Stokes couldn't hold it. He was blasted by Lewis. Darrell Lewis has gotten a couple of good hits in tonight from his free safety spot. Played at Ohio State as a freshman and then transferred here.
4th down and 3 for Terry Donahue. 35 seconds left. I think I'd go for this.
Why not? Even if you don't make it, they're inside their own 40.
Your defense has held San Diego State. You've got 2 timeouts left. I'd go for it.
Been very impressed by not only their running game and their defense, but the stability of Wayne Cook, who they say is learning every game, playing a little bit better. He certainly made some good decisions tonight. Well, he didn't like the way we're thinking. He'll put on Darren Shager to kick it. And Peterson will wait back at the 10, and they will take the penalty to back them up to the 43-yard line, give Shager a little bit more room to kick. Do San Diego State, do you come after it again?
No. No, at this point, with 35 seconds to go, what I would be working on is pass protection, trying to figure a way that I can get Tim Gutierrez some time to throw the football. And remember, UCLA has not stopped the quick hitch route. That's been open. They've thrown it. It has not been stopped. You need some screens. You need to slow down the rush, but some different protection to help Tim Gutierrez.
The left footer hangs it up, trying for the corner. Nearly got it. Ball hit at the goal line and went into the end zone. So San Diego State will have it at the 20 with 26 seconds left in the half. UCLA leading San Diego State 24-0 with 26 seconds to go in the first half, and that beautiful aerial shot of San Diego at sundown for one of the world's most enduring corporate symbols besides ESPN, of course. The Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California, is providing those beautiful kinds of shots for years. Goodyear Blimps have been flying over major sporting events since 1925.
Mike, we talked about this series that has been dominated by teams at the mismatch, physical mismatch, the line of scrimmage. It's been the same thing in the first half. Terry Donahue has had the physical mismatch at the line of scrimmage.
On half of Marshall Faulk's carries, he's gained less than 2 yards, and most of those have been hit in the backfield. Another blitz, and Gutierrez throws, and Darnay Scott can't come up with it.
Looks like the quarterback is just frustrated. Tim Gutierrez started off, hit 9 out of 10, was throwing the hitch, but it looks to me like he is just totally frustrated right now.
He had played so well coming off the bench in the 4th quarter against Air Force. Was 13 out of 21 for 217 yards just in that period. And then against Minnesota, when they played the run and let him throw the football through for 32 completions and 375 yards. But this is UCLA. He is now 12 out of 21, 130 yards, 2 interceptions. Throws, and that bounced off the hands of one receiver into Jake Nyberg's. Ray Peterson couldn't come up with it. So a little tip drill for San Diego State, and they'll pick up a few there.
That's how open that pass is. They can throw it to one, he can tip it to the other. That's wide open.
The clock running, 5 seconds to go, and now San Diego State will call a timeout with 3 seconds to go.
Well, it's frustrating when things don't go well, and they have just really, it's blown up on them tonight in the first half. That's Sean Payton with the headset on, the quarterback coach.
Al Luganbill, a very difficult night. Hope you'll stay with us at halftime. We'll have an update on the Braves and the Astros, then our halftime blitz, and a preview of ESPN2. Please call your local cable company. It debuts tomorrow.
No way Jay Barker will miss that South Carolina game. Now, I don't know what the injury is, or I just got a feeling with that streak going, Gene Stallings going to have him in the lineup.
Of course, you'll see that ball game Saturday night on ESPN. UCLA, almost to a man, very respectful of San Diego State this season. And you would have to be with a Marshall Faulk and a Darnay Scott, and maybe a more sound defensive system. But they have come in and done the same thing that they have done for years against San Diego State, and that's simply outmuscled them. 3rd and a yard, the last play of the first half. And Gutierrez just throws it up for grabs. Scott goes up in the air, made the catch. But he comes down at the 25-yard line as time expires. Gain of 46 yards. Marshall Faulk, the first half, frustrated, 14 carries, 44 yards. But J.J. Stokes, anything but frustrated. Averaged 28.5 yards a catch. Chris Fowler along with the latest in college football right after this commercial break. 3 takeaways by UCLA. 2 interceptions and a fumble. The big turnaround. They made the big plays. San Diego State did not, Mike.
And they've controlled field position. If you see where San Diego State start from their own 19 average field position, they've made them work the field.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Here comes the blitz again. Gutierrez hangs in there against the pressure, throws complete to Scott. Now they say he didn't get the foot down. He's out of bounds.
Tim Gutierrez just is not able to get anything on the football. He's floating footballs out there. Darnay Scott's open again. It's an 8-man front now where they're really crowding line of scrimmage. One-on-one with Carl Greenwood. He's open, but you see the ball's late coming to him.
Third down, 8 yards to go. Getting in for pass protection through a great block, and Gutierrez has the first down out near the 35-yard line as Curtis Shearer made the catch and Carl Greenwood made the tackle.
One thing else, Mike, one thing when you're in a pro city like this, the crowd's not going to, this is a pro crowd. They're not going to help you. The college crowd can help you, but they want, the pro people want to see some success. Marshall Faulk, number 28. They're going to pick up the blitz as they try to come again. He moves inside on the Cozy Littleton, number 54, and that's the block they need. Now you got a hat on hat. Now they gave the quarterback time to throw the football.
Another blitz. More time, and the pass incomplete. Flags down everywhere as Keith Williams was interfered with by Teddy Lawrence, number 2. The pass was underthrown, and Lawrence simply ran into the receiver.
I think Teddy Lawrence got lazy on this play because it wasn't going to be a completion. He just got lazy and used his arm in the back of the receiver. Wasn't going to be a completion, wasn't going to be an interception. He just got lazy.
Pass interference.
Give San Diego State a first down at midfield. Gutierrez now 15 out of 25, but the 2 interceptions really stand out. Faulk, they have not used him as a pass receiver. He has not been running out of the backfield. This time he goes out in the flat, and Gutierrez will go deep, trying for Scott. Greenwood with beautiful coverage, and Darnay Scott. He showed you some speed making up ground on that play, but couldn't get there.
Mike, on the first play, they did use Marshall Faulk in pass receiving.
But not since.
And haven't since then. Here's Darnay Scott, number 6. And now this is a good defensive call by Bobby Field, the defensive coordinator. Carl Greenwood's just playing deep route the whole way. Nothing there for number 6. Bobby Field with the striped shirt on, defensive coordinator, has to be pleased with the way his defense is playing tonight and his game plan.
Second and 10. Another blitz. Gutierrez with a long out pattern. And Keith Williams, the intended receiver. Mike, if you had the opportunity to pick a couple of plays against this blitz right now, what would you call?
Well, you got to screen it first of all,
which they haven't done.
They haven't been able to. But you also got to try to get Marshall Faulk outside in some type of sweep play where you get outside of the blitz. Everything's coming inside, and help the offensive lineman a little bit. Try to get him outside.
I would wonder why you don't send him in the flat more often against that blitz and just toss him the ball, get him one-on-one.
What UCLA's doing with 7-man blitzes, they're making sure he stays in and has to block. Now here they do have him out the flat. Look out.
One-on-one. Faulk, 10, 12 yards, first down.
You're right, Mike, on your perception on this thing. What they did with Marshall Faulk here is they gave him a little scat route where they didn't put him in the blocking scheme. They just released him right now. From the start of the play, he's released. They're not using him in pass protection. He's open, and that's like a sweep play. Get him the pass out there, now you have a sweep play for a first down.
And you get the feeling that's going to be so much better for him to do something than trying to run the ball inside.
Once you do that, they'll quit blitzing inside because he's outside.
He has caught as many balls this year already as he caught all of last season. Stays in the block. Gutierrez throwing, and Darnay Scott with a nice catch at the 15-yard line. So San Diego State making a couple of adjustments, showing the ability to move the football.
Well, what does your Heisman candidate do if he catches the football one play? What do you ask him to do the next play? When you keep him in, he has to be able to block. Here he does blocks on Donnie Edwards, number 23, and he makes the play. Darnay Scott on the reception.
Scott, 6 catches, 123 yards, and you wonder if there's anything that Marshall Faulk cannot do.
Needs to get in the end zone.
Movement along the line, and that was the tight end Mark Ziegler backing up. And then UCLA, after the whistle, kept coming, and that's Jameer Miller, who already had one roughing call, and the nose man George Case, and they came in and just buried him. Now, if the officials are going to blow it dead, they need to protect whoever has the football.
They really do. That's a free lick for Jameer Miller, number 95. I think San Diego State's made some adjustments at halftime. They get the pass out to Marshall Faulk. They're going to better pass protection. They're able to get Darnay Scott out in the routes with protection. Now he's open. You can't play him on one-on-one on the outside. You can't do it everything. I mean, you've got to leave something's got to be open.
Dead ball foul. False start. 5-yard penalty against the offense. First down.
Darnay Scott out of the lineup, 1st and 15. Gutierrez throws complete to the 15-yard line. That's the H-back, Ray Peterson.
Mike, if you notice where Marshall Faulk is lined up most of the time starting the second half, he's not behind the quarterback. He's off on the side in pass protection. See where he's lined up here. He's not going to run the football. There's no threat of the run there. He's involved in pass protection all the way, but needs to be involved in routes because there's no threat of the run by where he's lined up.
Big hit by Teddy Lawrence. Dumped Peterson flat on his back at 14. 2nd and 9 after they started 1st and 15. Gutierrez back to throw again over the middle, complete to the 3-yard line. Got it to Will Tate, the backup H-back, and Robert Gamble made the tackle.
Well, UCLA's probably content to keep Marshall Faulk in because in pass protection, they're making sure he's not going to be a factor. But in the secondary, now they're having problems. Watch Marshall Faulk again. He's blocking on Jameer Miller, number 95, able to keep him outside, and that opens up the throw one-on-one on the outside to Will Tate.
And the rest of the offensive line has done a better job here in the second half.
They really have. And they have hat-on hats. There's not any blitzes that they haven't seen, and they're able to get better pass protection.
1st and goal, tight formation. Faulk cuts it outside. Touchdown. The second leading scorer in the nation, averaging 14.5 points a game, got in, and then went over and had a word with Teddy Lawrence. He didn't like the hit at the goal line.
Now watch where Marshall Faulk's lined up. He's right behind the quarterback. Here's the give inside. Linebacker number 54, Nkosi Littleton, had a shot at him, but too much speed to the outside. Down by 18. You would consider 2 points right here. They're going to go for 1. A little late getting on the field.
Peter Holt is the kicker. Play clock is down to 8. Holt for the point after, and he knocks it through. So after a good offensive drive, Marshall Faulk with his 9th rushing touchdown of the season.
Before there were airbags, fuel injectors, big block V8s, fins, rack and pinion steering, wipers, radios, or even steering wheels, Kelly Springfield was building tires. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
Hold on. I don't overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnight it. Might as well overnight it.
Overnight this.
Overnight the overnight.
Overnight.
Sometimes overnight is overkill. So kick the habit with priority mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Good morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
ESPN's Thursday Night CFA is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you, friends know when to say when.
Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, and the Aztecs of San Diego State finally on the board here in the third quarter. They're down 24-7. The Bruins still in control. And Marshall Faulk got the touchdown. Finally had some room to operate on that last drive.
Good adjustments by Al Luganville and his offensive staff. That was a nice drive by San Diego State offensively.
And Gutierrez hit 5 out of 8 for 62 yards on that drive. Holt to kick off to Andy Colbert and Derek Ayers. Tackle and got it out to the 27-yard line. Marshall Faulk is a do-everything kind of player, truly a Heisman Trophy caliber player. He did everything on this series with the blitz pickup, which he's done all night long. Solid blocks to give Gutierrez time to throw. Then they send him out of the backfield on a little swing, and look what he does with it. Turns it into a 12-yard gain with speed and power. And then you get near the goal line. Who's the guy to give it to? You guessed it, and Faulk powers over for the score. Milner and Washington, the backs behind Cook, and Cook from the roll. Throws on the run, complete to the sideline to Mike Wynn, the junior who's playing with a strained knee, makes his 6th catch of the season.
Look at the deep balls on the pass chart here. 1 for 1 for a touchdown here. 2 for 2 for a touchdown. 1 for 1. He's had a lot of success tonight throwing the deep ball against the secondary of San Diego State.
2nd and 3 for the Bruins with 10:36 to go third quarter. Cook out of the shotgun to Washington. Washington pounds his way up to the 31-yard line, couple yards shy of a first down.
Mike, you just feel like momentum is kind of going to the San Diego team, but they need a real defensive call here. Del White, 3rd down play in his 4-3 defense. That's Ron Mims deciding, the secondary coach. He's trying to turn it up here on 3rd down.
3rd and 2, and UCLA has been dominant at the line of scrimmage in this ball game. Washington. 1st down. Reached the 34 before he was pushed back. The physical advantage of UCLA is something you talked about early. They have had it over the years. Terry Donahue knows it. He was concerned that he might not have it this year. But obviously, as you take a look at the rushing chart, he does again.
They haven't dominated the game running the football, but they've kept San Diego State honest by running the football. And then J.J. Stokes on the big plays from Wayne Cook have been the story.
A new set of downs for the Bruins. Washington behind Milner in the eye. Play action by Cook. Nice fake. Time to throw. Stokes. What a set of hands on that young man. He's got another 1st down. He's made all the catches tonight. The comebacks, the deep balls over the middle. There's a flag down on the play, however.
Greg Nowitzki, number 71, against Jamal Duff, number 48. It's good pass protection.
There's going to be a motion call on UCLA that will bring the play back and make it 1st and 15.
Illegal motion. 5-yard penalty against the offense. Repeat the first down.
Nowitzki, preseason first-team All-Pac-10. He started every game of his career so far this year. Left guard, center, and left tackle. He's been superb at all of them. Washington, student body left. And San Diego State's defense came after him and trying to strip the football. Nice play by Leonard Jones. And after he got some help from Chris Johnson, he reached in and tried to get the pigskin.
Mike, you're just talking about Craig Nowitzki, number 71. Watch him pull out here and lead the play. And watch how good he is on his feet as a big lineman. He's 280 pounds, 6'6", but just able to maintain that block.
And there was a flag down late on the play, and it's a personal foul against San Diego State. So they come up with a big defensive play, and then they get burned on the penalty. And the San Diego State coaches trying to find out who did it. How much will the official tell you on the sideline when you ask?
Most of the time, they really don't get a number. You're supposed to give a number to the coach, but a lot of times they can't get it from the other field. Sometimes they do.
Al Luganville calling out to the official, but they're going to march off 15 against San Diego State, and it will be a first down for the Bruins.
Okay. Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike penalty against the defensive team. 15 yards. First down.
May have been called on Darrell Lewis, number 9. Here's the hit. Push. It's always the second guy, believe me. But this time they're going to get the first guy. Brian Allen, number 86. UCLA's tight end involved. That was the call. I didn't see enough there.
Wasn't a whole lot, was it?
No, for that call.
Cook back to throw. Toss this one, and Stokes. Touchdown. He is something else, and Cook threw that ball off his back foot. Darrell Lewis beaten on the play. So they added insult to injury to the senior safety.
What happened on that, Mike, was Wayne Cook sprinted to the right side, which gets the flow moving to the left. See Darrell Lewis, he's sitting down, and he's a robber position on that. Number 22, the corner, Leonard Jones, leaves J.J. Stokes also. Boy, Homer Smith was talking about this week that he wanted to get more deep balls to J.J. Stokes. Well, he accomplished that tonight.
J.J. Stokes, homecoming at San Diego, said he has 28 family and friends in the crowd tonight, averaging 35 yards a catch. He is putting on a show for them. Bjorn Merton for the point after knocks it through. So UCLA has an answer for the first San Diego State score their own impressive drive, and J.J. Stokes with his 3rd touchdown of the night.
When you were 21,
yeah,
we drank a toast to it.
Yeah,
we did do that. When you were 30,
yeah.
I can't read this. You could boast of it. Now you're 40. Look at there, see? So make the most of it.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that clever?
Yeah.
Coca-Cola presents Monsters of the Gridiron.
Isn't that Randall Cunningham? Not for long.
Play Coca-Cola's Monsters of the Gridiron. Grab a specially marked Coke, call the toll-free Sprint Monster line, punch in the Monster code, and turn an NFL player into a monster.
Rocket Man?
Call and your monster will tell you if you won Super Bowl tickets, NFL merchandise, and Coca-Cola products.
That's Junior Seau. Give me the phone.
Always Coca-Cola.
Undefeated superpower Alabama fights to continue the nation's longest winning streak against South Carolina. Saturday on ESPN.
J.J. Stokes told us last night he thought the coaches had a good game plan. It may have been throw it to me. He's got 3 touchdown catches tonight.
Just call my number, Coach.
There's a number that hasn't been called enough for San Diego State. They are down 31-7 to the Bruins of UCLA. Darnay Scott waiting at the goal line. 2 yards deep, and they won't bring it out. They'll start from the 20. Let's go to Jerry Punch. Doctor, what do you have?
Gentlemen, at halftime, UCLA coach Terry Donahue said he couldn't be more pleased with the play of his team in the first half. He cautioned about a possible letdown in the second half. His biggest concern was the effectiveness of San Diego State's short passing game. He said, our corners are playing a little bit soft, but if we play a little tighter, I'm concerned about them going over the top to Darnay Scott. But we're going to make an adjustment with our corner coverage in the second half. Almost a prophecy somewhat. They drove the length of the field in their first possession and scored. Back upstairs.
Well, with 8:51 on the clock, Jerry's right. Now you can afford to let them run the football a little bit. Let them have those little hitches and play back. Just don't give them anything deep.
Clock the only setback. Darnay Scott flanks to the top of your screen. Gutierrez looks the other way. Throws the catch made by Ray Peterson, who didn't have a chance to turn it into much.
Give them that one all night now, because about 15 of them will take you to get up the field. And a lot of time. Terry Donahue, 132 wins, 61 losses, 8 ties.
And yet he's under some pressure at UCLA.
Well, I think a lot of things have happened at UCLA. Academically, they've stepped up, and their schedule is unbelievable. He plays them all. Tennessee, Michigan, outside the conference, plus the conference is very good.
Only he doesn't have on there is the Dallas Cowboys. Gutierrez throws sidearm, completes. Up near a first down, maybe just shy. Curtis Shearer made the catch. Talking about Donahue, look at the coaching tenure. He is now 4th in Division I with his 18th year at UCLA. He's won 67% of his games, behind only Paterno, Edwards, and Osborne. Bobby Bowden right with him in Florida State with 18 years there.
Mike, with what's happening in coaching today, you're not going to see many more of those coaches.
No, you're not. I agree.
18 years and over, because they're not allowing that to happen, because the win at all costs and the media and everything involved in it just makes it tougher.
Ball. Hit as he got through the line of scrimmage by Carrico Quinn, number 47, out of Westlake Village. As we said, this is Terry Donahue's 18th year at UCLA. Break down the record in 6-year increments from 76 to 81. 45, 21, and 3. No Pac-10 titles. He did have 3 bowl appearances. The second 6-year period was the best. 54, 15, and 4. Had 4 Pac-10 championships, 6 bowl wins, including 3 in the Rose Bowl. This season begins the last 6-year period with 8 games remaining. Currently stands at 34, 25, and 1. Has not won a Pac-10 title in that span, and a couple of bowl wins. But I tell you what, this is a terrific team. Pass underthrown for Darnay Scott. Greenwood is going to be called for interference. If he had turned around and seen the ball, he'd have been fine.
Yeah, I don't know what he's arguing about, because it's definitely interference. Greenwood 21 against Darnay Scott. And it was just like Jerry Punch just talked about. Terry Donahue says, give him a cushion, just don't let him beat us deep. Well, Darnay Scott, you see how he's moving, and there's the little push right there by Carl Greenwood for the interference call. Would not allow Darnay Scott to come back for the ball.
Had no chance to turn around and come back. One more thing about Terry Donahue. People forget he lost Tommy Maddox after his 2nd year of eligibility to the pros. Things could have been vastly different if Tommy Maddox stays. And then last year, because of injuries, he had to go through 4 quarterbacks. You can't win that way. And his record in this last 6-year period we're talking about could have been dramatically improved. And this is a terrific team he has here.
And Tommy Maddox was 9-3 in his sophomore year.
Balk on the delay, absolutely nowhere to go. I mean, that play is not going to fool anybody, because every one of those linemen is still going to be looking for Marshall Faulk. And the crowd is starting to boo.
Well, the pro in the crowd is coming out right now. Yeah. I mean, the pro crowd.
He is a marked man. There's no doubt about it.
7 men in the box for UCLA, but the penetration is what is affecting Marshall Faulk. There's just no place to go. They're just beating the offensive line of San Diego State.
2nd and 11. Gutierrez got one step, and Jameer Miller just wiped him out.
In tonight's game, one thing we can't lose sight of, Bobby Field has really put an excellent game plan together because he's moving his players around. Jameer Miller came from the inside that time. He's lined his outside linebackers up inside. He's made some good moves tonight defensively. He's pressured Tim Gutierrez. He's been very successful.
And that was a terrific little move they made because Faulk has been setting up on the outside to take one of the outside blitzers, so they come through the middle and there's nobody there. 3rd and 21. They lost 10 on the last play.
Now they're looking for the interception.
They send only 4 men. Gutierrez with time underneath the Marshall Faulk. Tripped as he got to about the 49-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage. Should be 4th and about 10. Marshall Faulk may not win the Heisman this year. His numbers are way down. Personally, I thought he should have won the Heisman last year. I thought he was the best player in the country. I still think he's the best player in the country, but I have my doubts that he has any chance at the Heisman. How about you?
Well, Lee Hamilton, who does the play-by-play for San Diego State, told me last year, he said if Marshall Faulk was playing for Miami, would he win the Heisman? And if Gino Toretta was playing for San Diego State, would he win the Heisman? I think the answer is Marshall Faulk probably would win. Sometimes the Heisman goes to the best player on the best team.
No doubt. Kick dies at the 14-yard line. It's 31-7 UCLA.
For the avid investor or novice collector, Troy Stamp & Coin offers the finest in stamps, coins, collectibles, silver and gold, sports memorabilia, and collector's cards. We also have a huge inventory of classic and new comic books, and we can provide the collector with a full range of supplies. So for the largest selection, friendly service, and the best deals in town, visit Troy Stamp & Coin on Rochester Road, just north of 16 Mile in the Troy Point Plaza.
Sunday Night NFL is on TNT because on Sunday you can never get enough. He's going down. And enough. Touchdown. 5 touchdown. And never enough. Sunday, TNT takes the NFL into the night.
Because there's never enough football.
Sunday Night NFL is on TNT.
Regular season begins September the 5th on TNT.
Sponsored by Stratford Funding. Call 355-2700 for the lowest mortgage rates.
Center highlight goes like this. Loose ball in the end zone. Fall on it, no chance. My feet are light, and I've got the moves. At the 50, I see Myers. Not now, Chris. I'm a busy man. And as I cross the goal line, I laugh, knowing my agent has just cut a deal for my very own fitness video. Yeah, that's my Sports Center highlight.
From the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, the pilot Tom Mattis from Huntington Beach, California, the cameraman Glenn Hampton. Hello, guys. Thanks for being with us tonight. Beautiful night to be flying over San Diego. Goodyear Blimps log over 100,000 miles every year covering major sporting events. Funny, so do we. Sometimes it feels like more than that.
They got more gas.
4:52 to go, third quarter. UCLA takes over at its own 17-yard line. Washington, the number 3 tailback, the deep man in the eye. He'll get the carry. Beautiful cut to get outside to the 33-yard line. Runs pretty good for a third-string tailback. And we've said about Marshall Faulk, he finished second to Miami quarterback Gino Toretta in last year's Heisman. Here's Marshall's feelings about that.
It was very disappointing not to win the Heisman. You feel like you put up the numbers to do it, and you had success personally, and they made it a team trophy.
The reason I felt so badly for him last year, he was racking, and we did a game at Brigham Young where he had 299 yards rushing, and it was almost kissed off on the East Coast. It's very difficult to get publicity from the WAC back in the East Coast. A lot of the things that he did were really disdained by the media back there, and I thought unfairly so.
Well, I felt like going into this year, that his best chance to win the Heisman was last year because he jumped out in the front. This year, there's just too much competition. And Charlie Ward, Ron Franklin and I talked about this the other night. He's driving the truck right now because he's with a great football team. He's going to put great stats up for Bobby Bowden's offense. It's Charlie Ward's Heisman right now. As long as they keep winning, no one's going to get it away from him.
And I think certainly his performance deserves the Heisman Trophy this year. He's playing brilliantly, but I still think Marshall Faulk deserved to win it a year ago. 2nd and 5 for UCLA. Washington running hard. That play has worked all night long. Cuts it outside again across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Another first down for UCLA. Chris Johnson and Leonard Jones took him out of bounds. Washington, a player that the coaches said finally accepting responsibility for what happens to him on the field. He is growing up. A junior, 6 feet 205, and he has been running well this year. His career best last year came against San Diego State, 114 yards. And look at the first down efficiency. 16 of 21, 214 yards. Cook, pump fake. Guess who? Stokes. This time knocked away. Nearly intercepted. Leonard Jones had inside position, and Cook underthrew it.
Well, Terry Donahue is definitely trying to give J.J. Stokes a night to remember in his hometown of San Diego. Terry Donahue saying, hey, welcome home. We recruited you, we got you, and now we're going to make you happy here back home. 22, good coverage by Leonard Jones. Darrell Lewis comes over the top, number 9. It really cost Leonard Jones the interception.
Stokes has only caught 5 balls tonight, but 3 have been for touchdowns and a total of 164 yards. Not a bad number. Washington across midfield to the San Diego State 49-yard line. That'll bring up about 3rd and 5.
Well, the key to success against San Diego State by UCLA has been their ability to run the football and control the line of scrimmage. We talked about that at the beginning of the program, but Terry Donahue felt like this year it wasn't as much of a mismatch, so he came out throwing tonight. But the last 3 meetings, 323 rushing yardage per game. Tonight, 110 rushing yards.
But that has been more than sufficient the way the game has gone.
Big play of the passes and the turnovers by San Diego State, the difference.
Milliner is the single setback with Cook on the shotgun. He gets it on the draw. First down and more. 40, 30. Milliner dragged down by Lewis as he got to the San Diego State 12-yard line. 37-yard run for James Milliner, by far his longest of the season. There's another 37 yards rushing.
Little draw to James Milliner. They're going to pull the left guard, the left tackle here to try to get him in front. It's a little trap draw. Number 71 again, Craig Nowitzki, the big tackle, 6'6", 280. Darrell Lewis saves the touchdown.
He was 15 yards downfield before he was touched by human hands. Here's another sweep. Washington. San Diego State strings it out, but Washington goes in for the touchdown. 14-yard run. It looked like he wouldn't get past the 10 and then just squirted past the rest of the defense.
Well, it looks like San Diego State's a little tired on defense. They're catching people, and James Milliner again, 36, had the big run the play before. Now he comes back to make a great block to spring Darren Washington for the touchdown, number 30.
Washington, 15 carries, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, he is the number 3 tailback behind Skip Hicks, who did not play tonight because he was hurt, and Sharman Shaw, who was hurt in this game.
The Pac-10 coaches are watching tonight. They better worry about this UCLA team in conference play. It's not over for them yet.
They lost their first 2 by a total of 3 points. They look like they're good enough to have a shot at winning the rest of them against a wicked schedule. The point after by Mertzen is good, and it's 38-7 UCLA. That was a drive of 82 yards in 7 plays, all on the ground. Took 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Number 49, Jeff Ruckman with a key block. Darren Washington in the end zone. Homer Smith pushed all the right buttons tonight, calling the offensive plays.
Let's check in with Jerry Punch. Doctor?
Well,
we caught up with a fellow who's awfully proud down here. We're with John Stokes, J.J. Stokes' dad, and Mom Annie is up in the stands. She's too excited to come down. And John, J.J. grew up 4 miles from Jack Murphy Stadium, but never played here in high school. Quite a homecoming for him tonight.
It sure is. And last night he was so excited about it at the hotel that he just couldn't wait till the game started today.
At the age of 8, you knew he would be a great one. What did he do?
Well, he was playing on a Mighty Mite football team at Kearney Mesa. He scored 32 touchdowns that year, and it was all the touchdowns that that team had that year.
Now, growing up, he had a hero in the NFL, someone he wanted to emulate. He's doing a pretty good job. Who was his hero?
His hero was Jerry Rice of 49ers.
Hey, that's a pretty good one to model after. You got to be enjoying watching your son play. Did you think about him possibly staying in San Diego as opposed to going away to play football?
Well, I never did, but I really wanted him to get away from San Diego to get experience being away from home.
Mr. Stokes, thanks for coming down and enjoy the football game.
Thank you.
John Stokes, the proud father of J.J. Stokes, who's having a career night here in San Diego. Mike?
Jerry, when I coached at Pittsburgh, we'd lose a lot of players from Pittsburgh. You can't take them all. I mean, now Luganville's done a nice job recruiting this city, and he's got a lot of good players, but you can't take them all. When you're down to 20, 21 scholarships, you're going to lose some.
Gutierrez back to throws underneath the coverage. Complete near a first down up at the 35-yard line, and that's his tight end, Zach Smith. Shane Jasper on the tackle.
Did he say he scored 38 touchdowns in Mighty Mite?
I believe so. That's pretty good memory for Dad, isn't it?
I'd like to get that playbook, too. See what plays he was running.
Same plays they're running tonight. Throw it to J.J. deep.
Like you said, go to the Buick and turn right.
That's
I'm open.
Right. Boy, and has he been. And what a nice kid. Pleasant young man to talk to last night. On the delay. Hurdles the first tackler, but there are always 2 or 3 UCLA defensive linemen. They have been very well schooled against him, Mike, because every time he moves not to block, everybody goes in his direction.
Bobby Field, the defensive coordinator, talked about leverage. You have to keep him penned in, keeping leverage on him, because he said a lot of times when you play a great player, you want to over pursue and you want to hit him so bad you'll miss some tackles on him, but UCLA has not missed many on him. Shane Jasper, number 90, makes that play.
20 carries, 64 yards. Gutierrez throws to Peterson, fighting for the first down, and it looks like he got it up at the 46-yard line.
Sometimes teams just have other teams' numbers. You know,
yep.
9-0 against San Diego State. Tonight they're just kind of cruising with them. They just have the number of this ball club.
It was interesting talking to Al Luganville when he said that this game is not such a big game for them in terms of the fact that it's out of conference. They are a WAC conference team. Those are the big games for them. But in terms of national perception, it is a big game. Beating a UCLA would raise them in stature. Gutierrez with time. Throws underneath. Peterson wide open. Goes down at the UCLA 36-yard line, and it's obvious UCLA just playing well back off the receivers and giving anything underneath.
You know, Mike Del White, the defensive coordinator for San Diego State, had a nice comment the other day. He really praised UCLA. He says Terry Donohue's team, the offense plays to the defense plays to the offense. So they really set each other up well. And he said, we're a one-back team. And he said, sometimes that's like saying to the offense, hey, good luck tonight, offense. And then saying to the defense, good luck, defense, because you may throw 95 passes and your defense may be on the field 95 plays.
Gutierrez has completed his last 10. 4-man rush. Peterson again makes the catch down at the 29-yard line, and Peterson has become the target of opportunity. Sophomore from New Orleans, Louisiana, same place that Marshall Faulk hails from, and that will be the last play here in the third quarter. And UCLA dominating the Aztecs of San Diego State 38-7. We'll be right back.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
We're talking about a personal foul following a touchdown. In this play, the receiver is hit after he scored. What is the ruling?
Today, a woman needs a life insurance plan of her own.
State Farm sells life insurance from an agent who's there for you today and there tomorrow, too. You see, we start you outright with a plan specifically designed for a woman's needs, one that protects the people who count on you for so very much. And the State Farm agent will be there tomorrow, too, as your life changes, to keep that plan working for the people you love.
State Farm sells life insurance.
We're talking about a penalty following a score. In this case, the penalty will be assessed on either the try or the succeeding kickoff.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, a great man once said, winning, gentlemen, isn't everything. It's the only thing.
Look, a grasshopper!
I formation, 34 sweep on 2. Got it? Just give the ball to Matt. Tell him to run towards Dad. Got it?
It starts every September with teams like the Turkey Creek Hawks, the Bronx Eagles, and the Newport Richie Giants. On fields where dads aren't only coaches, and oak trees mark the end zones. And a good day isn't determined by if you win or lose, but where you go after the game. So McDonald's would like to salute the players, the coaches, the families, everyone who helped make this season a perfect season.
Can we go to McDonald's now, Coach?
After the game, Lenny. This is only halftime. Now go sit down.
In the year 23,012 BC, Lenny, the traveling salesman, rented the first big round wheel from Thrifty at a nice small rate. Today, you can still get low rates now on cars with 4 wheels. Simply use your Montgomery Ward credit card at Montgomery Ward Car Rental at participating Thrifty locations. Renting wheels at low prices is nothing new to Thrifty. In fact, we invented it. Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
38-7 UCLA over San Diego State as we start the fourth quarter here at Jack Murphy Stadium, and it has been the dominance of UCLA's offense and defense that has stood out tonight as they have hamstrung Marshall Faulk. Second down, 3 yards to go. Gutierrez trying to get on the board again. Throws in the flat, complete to Stokes, makes that patented move to get free. Excuse me, Darnay Scott to the 10-yard line. And that will be a first down for San Diego State. Another frustrating evening for Marshall Faulk as UCLA has loaded up on defense to stop the run. Carries 53 yards for Marshall Faulk. Pittman in at tailback. Gutierrez with time now, forced out of the pocket. Throws on the run, complete down to the 4-yard line. Got it to Peterson again, who has had a big second half.
San Diego State with a drop-back passing game. The quarterback's always in the same stationary area, so all the blitzes are coming inside. That's why he was successful rolling to the right on that play.
That's the 13th time outside of sacks that Gutierrez has been under tremendous pressure from the UCLA rush. 2nd and 4. All 3 wide receivers come to the near side. Darnay Scott come out on the outside. Gutierrez throws sideline, and it's incomplete. Caught out of bounds by Jake Nyberg from Escondido. And he just seemed to lose track of where he was. Went up in the air when he didn't have to and came down out of bounds.
Well, the 3 receivers set to that side. UCLA really defended it with 4 people, so they had it covered very well.
Gutierrez had completed his last 13 before that incompletion.
Bobby Field says it's one more time for an interception. Let's stir it up.
They've stirred it up all night, only been hurt once, and given up a single touchdown.
The last call was choke the quarterback.
Which they've done all night long. Gutierrez under pressure again. Flips it in the end zone and too high for Peterson. Under a big rush from Travis Kershke, who's been in twice in a row and forced him out. Kershke, 255 pounds, 6'5", a freshman, number 98, and has made his presence felt tonight. And there are several defensive linemen who are injured for UCLA, so they have done the damage tonight, Mike, with a lot of second-team personnel, showing a great deal of depth.
And when they get the other injured players back, they're going to have a depth football team that's going to be able to play with anybody.
4th and goal from the 4. For Darnay Scott. Touchdown. Put him one-on-one with somebody, and he'll catch most of them. Lawrence just couldn't stay with him.
Darnay Scott adjusted to the ball. Lawrence was not able. Teddy Lawrence, number 2, he loses the ball. He's playing the man all the way. Now he looked. He peeked back into the backfield, lost Darnay Scott. Scott on the fade. Watch him keep his feet in bounds. Touchdown. That little peek cost him.
38-13, and they will tell defensive backs that once the man is even with you, if you peek in there, he can go anywhere and you don't see him. Darnay Scott, 8 catches, 148 yards and a touchdown. And San Diego State out to go for 2. Same pattern the other one. And out of bounds. Intended for Williams. He made the catch, but he was past the stripe. And Gutierrez has to pick himself up off the turf again. Here's the touchdown pass to Darnay Scott.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
One use of STP fuel injector cleaner helps remove clogging deposits, and that should be of passing interest to a lot of drivers. STP fuel injector cleaner.
Hey, kid! Not supposed to be here.
His courage will surprise you.
I'm here to play football for the Irish. I need your help.
Why should I help you?
His spirit will inspire you.
Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to go to school here.
When people say that dreams don't come true,
Hey, you guys! My son's going to Notre Dame!
tell them about Rudy.
You ready, champ? I'm ready for this my whole life.
Rudy, rated PG. Starts Wednesday, October 13th in select cities.
ESPN's Thursday Night CFA is brought to you by MetLife. Get Met. It pays.
UCLA in command here as Darnay Scott has gotten the touchdown pass to draw San Diego State to 13 points, but they're still down 25 with 13:52 to go in the ball game, and Peter Holt will kick it off. Andy Colbert and Derek Ayers wait inside the 5-yard line. Midfield. Nice return by the freshman Andy Colbert. Major League Baseball tomorrow night. A live doubleheader, and we have both teams in the only pennant race left. First, the Colorado Rockies will face the Braves in Atlanta at 7:30. And then at 10:30, we will go to Chavez Ravine, where the Dodgers will take on the San Francisco Giants. The Braves went into tonight's action with a game lead over the Giants. The Braves are losing to Colorado 7-5 in the, to Houston 7-5 in the 7th. And that would open the door again for the Giants. Ricky Davis Davis in for his second series of action. I guess he would be the 5th tailback on the UCLA depth chart. Now 9-5 as Houston has gone up on Atlanta.
Darrell Kyle, I believe, started tonight for Houston. Get it down now 3 games with Colorado and
San Francisco 3 more with LA after tonight. The Giants left for dead at one point. Have come back. Cook throws underneath. Completes to Brian Allen, his tight end. That's only the 2nd catch by a UCLA tight end this year. Allen, who was scheduled to be the starter, had to have arthroscopic knee surgery before the open. He played for the first time this year, a little bit last week, and has caught 2 balls tonight. And it's good to have him back with all the injuries along that offensive line. 3rd and 2 for UCLA. Milliner. Touchdown, UCLA. Marshall Faulk can only shake his head. He must be thinking what fun it would be to have room like that to run.
And a frustrating night for number 28.
Milliner, a 44-yard touchdown run. That puts him over 100 yards, 8 carries. And he gets his first touchdown of the year. Sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia. And Mertson, or Bjorn Merton, hooks it through. Point after makes it 45-13.
Mike, sometimes when you're pulling, look at the left tackle, how far back he is. And the left guard's back a step, but usually when that's the case, he's either drop back pass or he's going to pull on some type of trap play. So he's tipping it off a little bit. Craig Nowitzki, number 71, but San Diego State was not able to pick it up. James Milliner, number 36, into the secondary and off the home run.
Let's check in with Jerry Punch. Doctor?
Gentlemen, you mentioned some of the injuries in the offensive line for UCLA. We'll take a look at what I'm showing you. 6'8", 315 pounds worth of Jonathan Ogden, starting offensive left tackle. And Jonathan, you were one of the guys hurt against Stanford. Are you surprised a little bit that with all the injuries that your offensive line able to dominate up front here tonight with a pretty good San Diego State team?
I'm not really surprised. I felt that, you know, our backups have talent. And so with good preparation, I knew they could do the job.
A lot of momentum here tonight with as well as you're playing going into the next 2 at home. BYU and Washington come to the Rose Bowl in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for us, but if we just if we play like we played tonight, and I don't really see any way, hopefully, that they can stop us. Hopefully I'm back by the Washington game.
Well, what about Washington? Now, what is your injury? I understand you had possibly a mild sprain?
Sprain medial collateral ligament right there. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay, he said he's going to be back for Washington. Watch out for the Huskies. This big guy will be back in the lineup in a couple of weeks. Mike.
Not good news for opponents, Jerry, as Pittman takes the carry back out to the 29-yard line on the kickoff return. UCLA has scored touchdowns on each of its 3 possessions this half. And you want to see a wicked schedule? Look at this.
But the best thing about that schedule is you've got your toughest opponents at home. Of course, the USC game is a home game wherever it's played. But I think they have a tough schedule, but they've got most of the tough opponents at home.
That's going to be not a whole lot of comfort to Terry Donahue.
He's not going to sleep well this season.
Marshall Faulk is back in with 12:16 to go. Peterson over the middle. Pick up about 8 on that play. Shane Jasper makes the tackle.
Terry Donahue said last night, he said maybe you could get in the Rose Bowl this year with a loss and a tie. And,
because Washington being ineligible.
And he felt like it was a balanced league. Of course, Cal's off to a great start. Arizona's off to a great start.
Arizona with a vicious-looking defense. 2nd and 1 here. But Terry Donahue has shown us something tonight on both sides of the ball. And considering the early season wicked schedule he has had, this is a club to be dealt with. Gutierrez lays it out there and too far. Gamble, the closest man to it, intended for Darnay Scott. And once again, UCLA has done the job running the ball and stopping the run. And isn't it interesting how often it comes back to just that?
They have had more success versus Marshall Falk than any other team.
Sure
They
have.
defensively have really controlled the line of scrimmage. The offensive line on their side, the defensive line on the other side.
3rd and 1. Edwards has had some big plays. He and the other outside linebacker, Jameer Miller, they come again. The pass too high for Curtis Shearer, and it will be 4th and 1.
The good thing for San Diego State, Mike, is it's not a league game. They get back in their league and they start playing again in the WAC, and I'm sure they have aspirations to go to a bowl this year and still contend for the WAC championship under Al Luganville. The good thing about this game, it's a loss, but it's not a league loss.
Kaziski will come on to punt. And Guidry retreats to his own 25-yard line. High, wobbly, very short kick. And takes a UCLA bounce down at the 38-yard line. So Kaziski gets up a punt of only 24. UCLA with excellent field position.
It's chasing after something you may never catch. It's hit or miss, and some days it's more miss. It's disappointing, it's dangerous, it's never, ever boring. In other words, it's exactly like a cowboy's life. At Wrangler, we know cowboys. Our jeans were invented by them. Wrangler, the Western original.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
And I am Mr. Gallywikich.
You mean Dr. Galakowitz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool.
First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hey, isn't that a Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich?
Yeah, we just brought it back.
Hey, isn't that your wife?
Where?
Ooh, could that dress get any tighter?
It's back. Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich.
Hey, isn't that Haley's comment?
Creamy ranch dressing with real bacon and Monterey Jack cheese on a whole breast filet. What a combination.
What's my wife doing here?
Where?
Two can play this game.
Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich. You better buy two.
Undefeated superpower Alabama fights to continue the nation's longest winning streak against South Carolina. Saturday on ESPN.
With 11:20 to go in the 4th quarter and UCLA up by 32. Terry Donahue has gone to sophomore quarterback Rob Walker, number 17, to see his first action. And Derek Ayers is the new tailback. They'll pick him about a yard on the ground.
There's Homer Smith drinking a little water there, I'm sure. Maybe it's a Coke, but he has had a great night calling plays for UCLA. Very highly thought of. Coached at Alabama as an assistant. The Alabama fans are very high on him, and very successful football coach.
Together a nice game plan tonight. Got some good weapons to work with. Last year had a fine performance against San Diego State. They run the option. Ayers able to get outside, broke the tackle, got to midfield. Here's the sophomore. 6'3", 199 pounds, listed as the 13th quarterback. Here's the storyline from Jack Murphy Stadium. Big night for wide receivers. Stokes, 5 catches, 164 yards. Washington, the 3rd-string tailback, ran for 70 yards. For San Diego State, Marshall Falk held to 82 total yards. That includes his receiving total. And Darnay Scott with 8 catches. He's well over 100 yards. Walker, play fake, throws. Complete to the San Diego State 49-yard line. Anderson makes the catch. Avery, a sophomore, 6'2", 178. And Craig Weems makes the tackle.
Good ball handling by Rob Walker, number 17. Good fake into the line to the tailback. Looks pretty sharp coming off the bench, throwing the football.
recruiting period will start for these teams tomorrow, so all these coaches will be hitting the road early tomorrow morning, if not tonight.
October 1st tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
They're out on the road.
Start a hockey season.
Coach, it's 90 degrees. What are they doing playing hockey?
Here's Ayers. Carries a couple down to the 37. Of course, that won't be till Tuesday. That would be, what, October 5th?
Maybe it'll get cold, but...
Sure. Some of the other big games coming your way this weekend. Some nice matchups. Notre Dame at Stanford, and Notre Dame has been up and down. Purdue really gave them a physical battle last week. USC against that tremendous Arizona defense. And on ESPN Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern, Alabama and South Carolina. Ron Franklin, Mike Godfrey, and Jerry Punch will be there with you. Walker running for his life and slides down. John McCartney, number 7, covered him over there.
This play was supposed to be the shovel draw, but there was not any pressure. Number 17, Rob Walker, he's going to shovel this pass, but there's no pressure. So he just decides to keep it and then slide in for the safe at home. John McCartney, number 7.
It's a terrible feeling for a quarterback. It's like you're saying, what are you guys doing there? You're supposed to be in here.
You're supposed to pressure me so I can flip that ball on the shovel draw.
3rd and 4. Ayers maintained his balance down to about the 22-yard line.
I'm anxious to see Alabama on Saturday. I haven't seen them yet this year. Watch Florida State, and I'm just convinced Florida State's a great football team, so I'm really looking forward to see Alabama and against Steve Tannehill of South Carolina. It'll be a pretty good matchup.
Is there any truth to the rumor that Florida State put in a late bid for one of those NFL expansion franchises?
They would probably receive it.
A couple teams they might be able to beat, too. 8:39 to go in the ball game. UCLA grinding it out with 2nd, 3rd, and 14 personnel right now. Ayers down to the 16-yard line. You were talking about San Diego State and looking forward to the conference schedule. Does it make it easier as a coach to bounce back from a loss that's out of conference because you can then focus on what was always the most important thing to you?
Well, it's never easy to come off a loss, but what you can do with the loss is find the good things and go on, throw the bad things out, maybe even burn this tape. But get ready for the conference because they're still alive in this conference race, and they have a good football team. They were beaten by a better football team tonight. UCLA is better than San Diego State. They're more powerful in the offensive and defensive lines. And Wayne Cook had a great game tonight. Here's San Diego State. Now they've got to get ready to go to Hawaii. Now, one thing about going to Hawaii in the middle of the season when you're a football team, it's not a vacation. They're going to run into a good football team in Hawaii coached by Bob Wagner. Then they come home to Colorado State, New Mexico, go to Utah, but they close really strong.
Marshall Faulk may look forward to going to Hawaii, too. In 2 games, he's averaged 256 yards rushing. But you can bet that they will load up against the run, too. I mean, that's, you know, it's pretty obvious when you see Marshall Faulk that can't be the guy that's going to beat you. You got to make somebody else do it.
Well, that was UCLA's plan tonight. He was not going to beat him running the football.
And that really is...
Is that Billy Bruin there? Or what
I believe it is. You'll take a look at Marshall Faulk's numbers and say, oh, that's not a very good game, but it's a compliment to Marshall Faulk that he garners that much respect. 4th and short, UCLA to go for it. Pass to the 1-yard line, completed to Troy Aldrich. It will be a first down for the Bruins.
Frustrating when you're on the other side. You're getting beat 45-13, and tough to take sometimes. But what you keep thinking is you're going to be on the other side one of these days.
Maybe not in this series because it's scheduled to end tonight. And UCLA will take it to 16-0-1 in the series, 10-0 under Dominic. First and goal at the 1. No touchdown signal. Quarterback Rob Walker showing there about a foot short. Derek Ayers could not get the touchdown.
A lot of points being scored in college football this year. A lot of points. I mean, I know the hash marks have moved in, and that's helped it, but the pro influence on the college game, the formations, throwing the football, better quarterbacks throwing the football now, and I've seen a lot of great receivers. We've talked about the running backs across the country. A lot of skill. Del White had a nice point. He said there's better offensive linemen in the WAC now because of the limitations in scholarship. There's more players in the pool for everyone.
Second and goal. Quarterback keeper, again, no signal. And they pushed the sophomore back, so it would be third and goal.
Looked like to me he was in. Maybe he wasn't, but I think the officials are a little tired.
Raising their arms a lot tonight.
Sure looked like he was in there now. Needs to pull his hat up a little bit. He can't see.
Never missed an opportunity, do you? Ayers goes deep in the eye. Toss sweep. Can't get outside. Broke one tackle. Dives back to the 2. Nice play that time. Craig Weems back there.
John Lewis, number 2, also. They're not giving up. They do not want to allow UCLA to get in here and get to the 50-point level.
Lewis broke the momentum.
He also got the face mask.
Whoa.
I tell you, these officials are tired. They must have the same plane I got tonight.
So now fourth and goal. Spot the ball at the 3. And now it looks like San Diego State wanted the timeout. They were scrambling around on defense. And they get the timeout with 4:11 to go in the ball game, trying to keep UCLA out of the end zone again.
I'll never forget it. It was the big game. And it was all up to me. For years, I've been wishing I'd swung at that pitch. Hit or miss, at least I'd have given it a shot. So if you're a guy who wants to find out more about Rogaine with minoxidil, whether it's for you, don't just stand there with a bat on your shoulder. Find out about it.
To find out about Rogaine topical solution, call 1-800-896-7710. And Upjohn will send you an informative brochure about Rogaine. And because only a doctor can prescribe Rogaine, they'll even send you a list of local doctors who can help you decide about it.
If you'd like to find out more about Rogaine with minoxidil, don't stand there with the bat on your shoulder. Make the call now.
ESPN2, coming October 1.
More than 44,000 on hand here tonight. Most will go home disappointed with San Diego State's performance against UCLA, down 45-13. Fourth and goal from the 3. Ayers, the deep man in the eye. UCLA trying to score again. Touchdown. The catch made by Avery Anderson on the toss by Rob Walker. I'm going to ask you at this point, why do you go for the touchdown leading by as much as you're leading?
It's a good question. And I guess the answer would be is Rob Walker. You got your backup quarterback. You got most of your backup players in. You got to let them play. Let them score. Of course, it's again on the other side. It's no fun on that. There may be a lot of fun on that sideline, but there's not much on the other side.
Jason Leslie, who's the backup place kicker, is going to try the point after and knocks it through.
Rob Walker is going to give a pitch fake to the left. he has two receivers wide open. You see the snap in the center, play fake, misdirection. Avery Anderson, number 82, open. John Lewis just a little late on coverage.
Sports Center comes up right after our broadcast. Dan Patrick and Mike Tirico standing by, and we'll have updates on the Giants and Dodgers game, as well as a wrap-up on the Braves and the Astros. The last we heard, the Astros were up by 4 late on the Braves, and Dan Reeves and Wade Phillips both having success. Dan Reeves leaving Denver for the New York Giants. Wade Phillips elevated as the head coach. Both have done a fine job this year, and a lot of people very happy for Wade Phillips. One of the nice people in that business. We will be announcing our Wrangler players of the game momentarily.
Guess who?
Bet that's one of them.
Yeah, there's the other candidate.
We'll keep the mystery alive here.
2 candidates for this award tonight.
4:05 to go in the ballgame. It's 52-13 UCLA.
By the way, I know you're a country music fan. Did Reba McEntire win?
No, she didn't.
I know you were pulling for her, right?
I was. Her and Vince Gill on the duet. Darnay Scott from the 4. Scott unable to break one tonight. Gets up to about the 33-yard line. Take a look at our Wrangler players of the game. For the Bruins, J.J. Stokes, 5 catches, 3 for touchdowns, and 164 yards. Quite a performance. And his counterpart for the Aztecs, Darnay Scott, 8 catches, 148 yards, 1 touchdown. And a couple of guys who are going to be legitimate #1 draft choices in the NFL. The new running back in, the freshman, 6 feet 205. His 5th carry of the year. And the numbers on Marshall Faulk: 19 carries, 53 yards, caught 3 more for 29. And you would think that they would have gotten him more involved in the passing game, Mike.
Well, I think they just manhandled in the offensive line tonight. I think that's been the difference in this ball game. It disrupted their whole plan offensively, and they just took them out of everything.
You know, the great thing about Marshall Faulk is he's not going to beat about it. He's going to go out and play just as hard as he's great. He's a great team player. All he wants to do is win. And talk about first-round draft choices. This kid has that 5th year that only backs that come along once every 10, 15 years.
Like you talk about sometimes, you know, when what happens when a team loses all the time, you look over and you say, what did they do wrong? But I don't know if it's so much what they did wrong tonight as the other ball club, UCLA, was clicking.
I agree with you.
They're playing with a lot of confidence. When we met with them last night, they were very confident in their game plan. I mean, San Diego State ran into a buzzsaw. Very confident football team at UCLA.
Gutierrez back to throw again, and tremendous pressure, nearly picked off, dropped by Travis Collier. And Gutierrez has spent most of this game flat on his back.
The last game I did at UCLA was last year when they upset Southern Cal. John Barnes, the walk-on quarterback, and I said on that telecast Terry Donahue should give him a scholarship. I forgot to ask Terry last night if he put him on scholarship. John, if you're out there listening, go back, see Terry Donahue, go back on scholarship.
Koziski comes on to punt to Guidry with 2:34 to go in the ball game. Well, you're right. You try to think of different things to do when you're really being manhandled, and sometimes when the other team is just that much more physically gifted than you are and they're on, there really isn't a whole lot to do. You just stand here and take your lumps. We'll be back in a moment. Lady sings, well, she sung and gone out for donuts. It's over.
Had a dozen already.
52-13, and Scott Fitterer, a freshman quarterback from Seattle, Washington, has checked in for Terry Donahue. Rob Walker played in the 4th quarter, directed a touchdown drive.
Those were sugar donuts, too.
Look at this, 240 yards rushing for UCLA. San Diego State only 31. Of course, the sacks come off that rushing total. Fitterer running the option to Ayers. Ayers Couple of tackles, still on his feet. 20, 10, touchdown. Wait a minute, he stepped out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds back at the 37-yard line.
Add to those rushing totals.
And Leroy Glover took the quarterback, Scott Fitterer, after the option and just flung him about 5 yards upfield.
Option against the front of San Diego State. Derek Ayers, number 25, breaks to the outside. Let's see where he steps out of bounds. Yep, right there. Right foot on the line.
Watch Glover. He says, yeah, I know you got rid of the ball. Watch this.
We're going to beat 52-13. You're going to pay. We couldn't get to the other guy. We got you.
It is not a time to have any fear in your heart out there. Somebody's going to drill you. We've got a timeout. 2:08 to go in the ball game. Back in a moment. UCLA, 2:08 to go in the ball game. That guy will be back. He's had tough outings before and usually explodes on the next team for about 200. Greg Cass, number 48, a new running back. He's into the ballgame with Ayers. Ayers runs into 3 tacklers. Let's go to Jerry Punch. Jerry?
Gentlemen, when you lead the nation in rushing 2 years in a row and you talk about running the football, people listen. That includes shoe companies. Now, Marshall Faulk has had a major input in the kind of shoes that's being worn now by the skilled players at San Diego State. The shoe here is a typical 7-stud cleat shoe, heavy-duty shoe that's normally worn by linemen and receivers. The one I'm holding now is the one that Marshall Faulk designed himself, and with this 8th cleat, the 8th cleat here allows him to cut on the outside of the shoe. Both he and Darnay Scott wearing this shoe throughout the season here. Mike?
All right, Jerry, thanks very much. And, you know, Marshall Faulk and Darnay Scott want special shoes built. I'm sure some company's going to come along and do it for them because those young guys can give you some quick advertising.
They needed a 9th cleat tonight for ejection purposes to go over because you couldn't go through this UCLA defense. They just dominated the game.
Clock stopped with 1:18 to go in the game. Sports Center coming up right after our broadcast. Update you on all the baseball. And Houston now with a 10-5 lead over the Braves in the 9th would give the Giants a chance to tie it up again after tonight. They would both have 3 games left in the season.
They face Team Caniati tonight, the Giants. Get their work cut out for them.
Yes, they do. Ayers straight up the middle on 3rd and 10. George Glazé, number 91, a former starter, makes the tackle. Short of a first down, bring up 4th and about 3. Darnay Scott had the big night tonight, but it wasn't enough.
They'll still be a factor in the WAC race, though. Before it's all over, they're going to be the get this one behind them and go get the WAC.
Well, they got WAC tonight. Ayers on 4th and 3 comes to the short side, knows where to run, and stacked up by San Diego State. The Aztecs will take over on downs. Faulk with 19 carries, 53 yards, again kept under 100 yards by that UCLA defense. Take a look at what he has done during his career. In the first game, Fresno State, he was hurt, so that really shouldn't count against the record. But Long Beach State held him to 39. Colorado State to 60. UCLA, if you go back to that one in 1991, held him to 79 yards. So 2 out of 3 times they have held Marshall Faulk under 100 yards.
Tonight, San Diego State's only averaged 1.3 yards per rush. It's been the difference for them. They could not run the football.
28 seconds to go. Billy Blanton is in quarterback for the first time. And this would definitely fall under the heading of mop-up duty. And San Diego State mercifully showing no interest in throwing the ball or stopping the clock. So the Aztecs thought they had a real shot tonight at San Diego State, but UCLA comes up big and wins it 52-13, much to the dismay of Marshall Faulk and his San Diego State teammates. Our final score, 52-13 UCLA. For Mike Godfrey, Jerry Punch, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, and good night from San Diego. SportsCenter is next.